Hey guys, welcome to our pilot episode of our podcast called Theater for Three. I am Chris. I also have with me
Kyle
and Bryan.
We all work together. We talk about film pretty much endlessly every day, argue about it constantly. So we figured we'd get a couple mics, sit down, have some discussions, let everyone hear how much arguing we do. But Kyle, tell some people about you.
I'm fat as fuck. I kind of watch way too many movies in a lot of time that I have for myself.
But you go to film school.
I'm going to film school. I've done a few studies online. That's right about it. My buddy's a film school major. I've helped him out with most of his productions, but other than that, I don't really have any much experience besides making movies.
Well, you have your own opinion, obviously.
I kind of have an opinion.
And a strong opinion, if I may say so.
Yeah, fuck Mad Max. Fuck 50 Cent. Dre's got dumb shit coming out today. I don't really like that guy.
Kanye West, too.
All right, Bryan, what about you?
Bryan, my background with movies is that I used to work for a guy you might know named Mickey Mouse. Pretty cool guy. We used to get together and talk about his shitty movies that he made.
Mickey Mouse ain't got shit.
Most recently, Good Dinosaur.
That's a nervous thing.
God damn it.
Keep going. No, it's fine.
No,
this is a live cut.
I'm just the background
this is
noise
uncut,
of this podcast. No, but yeah, no, I'm pretty much just the equivalent of like an internet troll, as Chris and Kyle can attest to, when it comes to my movie opinions, because I love playing devil's advocate. I hate Chris's opinions, and I like Kyle's beard. So
I can't fucking stand Chris's opinions.
So yeah, we're gonna do that later because we the big point of it, we saw Deadpool tonight, and we'll catch about that later. But we'll have some hot takes to that. But yeah, that's about my little bit of history.
Yeah, Deadpool is the highlight of the show tonight. Seeing it premiere night. We'll find out if it was better than Fox's last attempt at a Marvel movie, Fantastic Four, right?
That was a movie?
I mean,
I thought that was a documentary.
They tried to call it a movie, and they tried to make a sequel out of it.
You can get the Blu-ray for $9.99, by the way.
You can definitely look hardcore into the way a film's made if you want to see.
$9.99 is way too much for Fan Force sake.
Shit, I wouldn't value it. The
Did
shit
you
out of
buy
that
it?
shoe.
I did not buy it. I will never buy that movie.
Would you rent it?
No, I went and saw it in the theaters.
Yep.
You did.
Because my ex made me want to go. It was the worst.
You're right, you did.
I gave
time
them
of
some
my
really,
life.
really dirty billboard money. Can't fucking stand that. They don't deserve any of that. That's one. We've got a bet going on.
Yeah, we got a bet going on to see how many times Bryan is going to snort from laughing on this podcast. I have my money on the over on 30.
If anybody in here is Polish, it just happens. It's a thing. I don't want to talk
Bryan,
about
I'm
it.
100% Polish, and I don't snort.
Bryan, I'm not Polish. I'm fat, and I snort a lot. So don't worry. You're not going to be the only one.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah, don't worry.
Now I feel better.
I'm just large.
I'm
That's
learning
all it
new
is.
things about Kyle as the pod goes on. So
You know that I'm fat now?
yeah, I wasn't talking about the snort thing at all. I knew you snorted, you fat fuck.
Back to movies, please.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about myself anymore.
All right,
What do
so
you guys
what
want to start with?
we
Where
got
to
going
start?
on tonight, we're going to first talk about what we watched this
Okay.
week. Okay?
Sure.
I'll be honest, mine's a little disappointing. I'm going to tell you that from the start.
That's okay, though. I mean, this kind of came out of nowhere, so it's not a big deal. We're going to talk about news and the new trailers that released today. Some big ones. We got Batman. We have, which I can't wait to talk about.
I can't tell, honestly. If you guys look, we made the bet about the snorts. If you guys want to make a bet about how long we argue more over Batman vs. Superman and Deadpool, hammer the over on both. Because hot take city. It's going to be a 2-on-1, 2 different occasions, so I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Do you bleed?
And we also got a couple more trailers.
You will.
And
Two. Let's do it. Let's go.
and we're also going to talk about Deadpool, obviously. 'Cause
That one movie that came out today.
that is
That's silly of a movie we saw tonight.
I mean,
it was a riot.
It's a little under the radar.
It was a hoot.
Obviously.
Not a lot of people-
Indie Film City.
Honestly, I was expecting a way bigger turnout than what we got.
I think it won at Sundance, correct?
I mean,
Yeah. No, it didn't.
All right, let's get rid
Well,
of
we'll talk about that later.
Let's get rid of it.
all right, Kyle, what'd you watch this week?
Oh, I watched a dumb shit movie called Primer. It was a little weird. Indie movie about time travel, I guess. They tried real hard making it like a Memento style, kind of like trying to follow it too much. But the acting and dialogue was just kind of fucking weird. Like, the way they explained it, the themes they had with it were really cool. They built this machine, like the way they led up to it was great because it was like, hey, we just kind of, all this math is lining up. Like they even explain it in the film itself. It's like, this isn't some wizard shit, like we're not using crystals or nothing like that. It's just, the math adds right up. It's pretty fucking simple. Oh, God. Yeah. That's a movie plug right there.
So it was like Time Machine mixed with Memento.
It was No, Time Machine mixed with Memento mixed with a flaming bag of dog shit.
Oh, all right. I mean, Time Machine is a flaming.
But
bag
like,
of dog
there's
shit.
something appealing about a flaming bag of dog shit, and that's what I want to bring to Primer is that like I still really enjoyed it because of the way they framed a lot of it. It's just the acting they couldn't have vomited on a more beautiful cake. Okay. You know what I mean? Like,
Let me cut you off. Favorite movie about time travel?
oh fuck.
I mean, it's a layup of a question and a layup of an answer.
Yeah, what a fucking dunk you just laid on me right here.
Off the top of my head, I honestly.
I know what you're thinking. Hot Tub Time Machine 2 doesn't. No,
It's not Hot Tub
it's not on there.
Hot Tub Time Machine 1, maybe. That was a great movie.
Great movie, but
Oh,
I mean,
Click, obviously. Holy shit. Why
right.
wouldn't that be?
all right.
Yo, Adam Sandler, man. He is.
That movie is made by the fact that they use "Linger" by the Cranberries. Top 1 greatest song of all time.
Oh my god.
God,
Cranberries
I
are
love
Irish as fuck.
Yep.
I love that.
I mean, the answer is obvious. I'll say it. Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah, you
That's
got
good.
it.
I mean,
Gotta put it.
oh yeah, I mean, you gotta give it credit.
It's a classic.
Looper, right? Looper.
Oh, Looper.
Looper's a
Looper
good
might
one.
be
Real
up there
good,
for me.
real
Yeah.
clever. I mean, it's real simple. They managed to keep it real streamlined. No quantum physics shit. I really
No,
like about
I
that.
like Looper a lot.
Me
Oh,
too, surprisingly.
that's a real tough one.
I gotta go Back to the Future. That's my given. That's my given answer.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I don't really have anything
Yeah,
else.
I might pick the odd here and be Looper because
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be a head to head here. If I can think of another fucking movie that does time travel, maybe we have a
that's true.
better
Out of
candidate
those
than
movies you
Looper.
picked. To be honest, though, I love Back to the Future. Don't think I don't.
That's fair.
All right.
Anything else you watch?
No, that's
Besides
about it.
Deadpool?
I mean, Deadpool. I saw Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for the invite.
Once again, oh yeah, sorry, we didn't invite Bryan to this one. We met him at the theater anyway. That was pretty weird.
What about you, Chris? What have you seen this week?
Oh, you're gonna go to me?
Yeah, skip me. I told
yeah,
you,
fuck
I'm
you,
a waste.
Chris.
Mine's
How
gonna be
about that?
last. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna leave the worst for last. That's how we do
Worst
it.
for last today?
Sorry to get your hopes up.
Okay. I watched Goosebumps.
I mean, let me.
Jack Black though.
Right. No, let me preface this by saying Chris knows this. I am the hater of the most popular actors and like actresses in the world. I despise Jack Black.
He's not one of those like AAA though. He's not. You wouldn't put him in the fucking.
Not anymore. No, yeah,
Sandra-
not anymore. Back in the day, I would
Actually,
have.
I shouldn't even say Sandra Bullock, but like, you wouldn't put him.
I feel like you were a Tenacious D guy growing up.
I mean, I'm a tenacious D guy.
I'm about to say like you're
Physically,
physically.
I'm a Tenacious D guy.
You could pick out a Tenacious D guy. And
I
I
still
feel
love
like
School of Rock.
Kyle Gass.
School of Rock. I didn't like. I mean, Hot Take City because I feel like that's like.
No, I'm fine with.
But,
yeah,
I like Goosebumps.
yes,
It paid great homage to me as a child because
yes, absolutely.
I would think all three of us, besides maybe Kyle, because he's a little bit younger than us, loved watching Goosebumps when we were kids.
What the fuck? Wait, hold on. Pause. What the fuck was that? Don't pause that. Keep playing that. This is hot right now. We got a hot mic. What the fuck was that?
Were you a Goosebumps
Call
guy?
me young, call me age, motherfucker.
Well, you are.
I've been around the block.
It is pretty
Watch
crazy
your
how
mouth,
much
brothers.
younger.
I see some
Family
Goosebumps
podcast.
motherfucking shit.
This is a family podcast.
My mom's gonna listen to this.
Family podcast.
I've made I've watched the Goosebumps Monday to Friday
Did you? Were you a Goosebumps
movie.
guy?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I love that motherfather.
No, but like I said, I didn't like Jack Black at all. I had similar low expectations going in. When I saw it in theaters, I adored it. Bought it on Blu-ray, watched it again. Could not have loved it more the second time if I tried. So I could not recommend that movie more. So definitely check out Goosebumps.
Goosebumps is awesome.
But do you feel it? Do you feel it being like just kind of like the pander? Obviously, it's Goosebumps, so you're gonna appeal to the people that watch Goosebumps or read Goosebumps.
And it will bring in
New Goosebumps fan.
new
Absolutely.
Goosebumps.
It's
fans
not in.
also.
You
it
see
has
it, right?
legs over nostalgia. I never saw it.
It is not a bad movie at all.
Here's the thing. The movie itself is not great. I'll be honest. It's not like a blow
But it's
you
a
away.
family movie.
Right.
It is a family movie through
It's
and
the
through.
most way they were able to make it a family movie while still paying tribute to the back old school Goosebumps
So it's
fans.
good for adults
Right.
who have seen the show and kids who.
Counter recommendation here: you should probably watch Krampus.
Right.
Krampus is
talked about that,
definitely in that vein of Goosebumps.
I'm definitely waiting for that to come out on Blu-ray.
Well, I feel like that
really
movie was
want to
rated
really great.
Was that R or
PG-13?
PG-13? It was. Okay.
Yeah, no, PG-13. I mean, Jesus, that actually really enjoyable in that vein of like scary in a way that is still, palatable for kids.
Well, let me ask you. I mean, I've told you guys this a bunch. I'm the biggest pussy on the planet when it comes to movies that are scary. Even somewhat suspenseful, I get nervous.
Yeah.
How would I do at Krampus?
Not a lot of jump scares. Don't worry about
Jump
that.
scares are my biggest enemy.
I think those
spiders,
are pathetic. There's-
heights, and jump scares.
There's two scenes that build suspense to the point where where there would be like a jump scare,
Right.
but it doesn't build anything.
Okay. I mean, that's
and there's maybe one scene that actually made me jump.
How's the comedy to horror ratio?
60 horror, 40 comedy.
I could probably do that.
I'd
then.
put because
I'm watching it with the lights on. Let's be clear, but I could probably do that.
it's not even. It might even be like a perfect mix because like no matter what, you're still laughing at these hysterically made fucking.
See, I'll be honest. I didn't jump. I didn't do anything once at Goosebumps. Like
Yeah.
it was a family movie.
I mean, like
Chris said.
Not only that, but like it can be super serious. But what it boils down to is you have these gingerbread men holding butter knives throwing at you this whole time. So like there's still that lightheartedness to it that it's not all depressing and just a shit fest.
I can
You
do
know
it
what I
then,
mean? Like,
definitely.
and even then there are some pretty mature themes in it. Like there's death. Oh, there's death in
Really?
half. Oh yeah,
Really?
And it's kind of rough, but
Interesting.
at the same time, it still maintains that like lighthearted, like, oh wow, a fair amount of balance. And I really, really like that. And they managed to keep a good Gremlins feel to it, or
Yeah.
Goosebumps feel.
I thought it looked really good,
I loved it.
but I also watched Pawn Sacrifice this
Never
week.
seen it.
Never seen it.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Explain.
Give us.
You said you saw it.
Did I see it?
Bobby Fischer.
Yep, totally saw it.
Yeah.
I totally saw it. I know exactly which one you're.
Yeah,
so break it down for me.
It had Tobey Maguire, starring Tobey
Spider-Man.
Maguire.
Yep.
Liv Schreiber.
Did not do the emo dance from Spider-Man 3.
Don't want to talk about it.
Disappointing.
Let's just
Slides on
pass
both
over it.
shoes and.
But we got Tobey Maguire, Liv Schreiber. I actually thought it was great. I'm a die-hard Bobby Fischer fan.
Have his jersey,
through and
right?
through. Yeah, his chest jersey. Only complaint I really have to say about Pawn Sacrifice is they could have dove deeper into his mental deterioration a little bit better because, I mean, the guy was absolutely nuts.
Right.
And he was making demands that he thought wouldn't be met, and he showed that he was absolutely psychotic. They didn't really explain it all that well. They just kind of showed him go a little bit more insane every other scene. It just didn't get as in-depth as I wanted it to. But I thought Tobey Maguire put on a great performance, even though the script itself didn't.
I definitely agree with that. I gotta watch it again for sure, but I definitely agree with they didn't full throttle it. They didn't give it enough at all that I thought they should have. And that's literally the only thing I can piece together with it because that's about as much as I remember since the last time I've seen it.
But I mean,
remember Tobey Maguire's,
yeah,
performance being absolutely incredible.
it was good. And they also showed Liv Schreiber's character, who was the Russian that he was playing chess against. He was also kind of
Wait,
insane.
does Liv do a Russian accent?
He does.
It's pretty incredible.
Is it bad?
No, it's good.
All right, good.
He
I love
actually
him.
did a good job.
We talked about that the other day. I'm a big Schreiber fan.
And
I think you better watch this film.
Really?
Probably watch this film.
they got the best game of chess ever played, the Game 6.
What's the
Unbelievable.
What's the other? It's the other one's just searching for Bobby Fischer.
That
right?
one's not about Bobby Fischer. That's about a kid who gets put through essentially what Bobby Fischer went through, and they tried to make him into the next
So
Bobby
you're basically
Fischer.
saying that movie was like the equivalent of like clickbait. Like they're like, oh, this is a movie about Bobby Fischer.
This one's about Bobby Fischer.
Okay.
It's a
Like I
biopic.
said, I'm not a Bobby
It is
Fischer
a-
guy.
yes, it is a biopic.
I'm not a chess guy.
Yeah.
Checkers, tic tac toe, Connect Four.
All right.
Not chess.
And
Not
finally,
chess. Holy shit. Piece of shit.
gotta love chess though.
All right.
Finally,
All right, you know what? This is now a chess podcast. Let's have ourselves a good little conversation.
We're literally
about
just gonna play
chess.
chess for 2
Yep,
hours on
gotta
here.
play C4.
I'm going to put A
Start
for
with
E.
C4.
Yep, you always go C4 every time.
Yeah, Call
Queen's
of Duty, man.
Gambit.
I love C4.
Queen's Gambit.
I was more of a Claymore guy, but C4 they're good too.
Zing, I'm a dad. Get it? I'm going to kill myself.
3.
That's 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Keep
Place
on.
to bet snow.
I also, this is the last one besides Deadpool. I watched The Last Witch Hunter,
Yes.
which
Yes.
to be fair, not a good movie.
This is incredible. Let me lead this up pretty well.
Have you seen it, guys? You've seen it?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
Kyle saw it.
I'm a big fucking fan of it because of a few reasons. And it's because I've played Dungeons and Dragons probably for 10 years of my life. I started when I was 9. Played at least more than 1,000 hours of it throughout my time.
Remember I said you look like a Tenacious D guy?
I'm a Dungeons and Dragons.
You're a
kind of
Dungeons and
guy.
Dragons.
Yeah.
I could have.
Oh yeah.
You nailed
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Fucking
Sorry.
Dungeon Masters almost all the time. Just fucking crazy shit going on. And then I found out I used to listen to a podcast
Yeah.
where through that podcast I found out that Vin Diesel is actually a huge fan of Dungeons and Dragons.
Interesting.
And he has his own character. I forget the name of his character. Tattooed on his, I think it's on the back of his neck. And what
Calder.
yes, and no, he's got a different one. He found out, or what I found out was, The Last Witch Hunter is based off of that Dungeons and Dragons character, or at least it receives some sort of callback to it. And so I decided to watch it, and it was just fucking dumpster fire terrible. Like,
Well, we can talk about it like this. I mean, you're not going to go into Last Witch Hunter with Vin Diesel thinking it's going to be the next great flick, right?
I mean, we saw the trailers though when we were like, this could be the next Titanic. Like,
let's not give him credit. Yeah, we watched it and went, holy shit, this is a Charlie Kaufman flick? This is incredible. I can't wait to see this one. I was just ready to piece it together.
To be fair, I had fun with the movie.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was entertaining. It was not good. The story got a little confusing, like to the point where it was trying to be more than it actually is.
Being a Charlie Kaufman film.
It tried to be way
It got
more
really
than it actually
fucky.
is.
Like,
It got
fucky.
really weird. Vin Diesel really wasn't atrocious in it. Michael Caine was in it. He's always good. But even though he was unconscious half the movie.
that he's in that movie.
He was unconscious half the movie.
Watch me go
slay this
whip.
And I don't know who the female was.
Oh, it's always Famke Janssen.
Do you want me to
She
look it up?
wasn't Famke
No, I know
Janssen.
it wasn't Famke Janssen.
But
I'll look it up for you.
she wasn't bad. And Elijah Wood was in the movie for all of 5 minutes, which I thought he was going to be a
Yep.
bigger part.
Yep.
Rose Leslie. Her name was Chloe.
Rose Leslie, thank you, the girl from Game of Thrones.
Yes. Who? I mean, if you think she was hot in the movie, she goes full nude in Game of Thrones.
Nothing,
So,
Jon Snow.
It's a family podcast, Brian. Don't bring that up.
all right, you can watch this.
Dude, when I was 11, if I was like a 9-year-old watching this podcast, I'd be wanting to
What
figure
was,
out
like,
a way to
That's
find
absolutely
movies.
true.
What was the first? I mean, not to get off topic, but what was the first movie that you saw where you knew you weren't supposed to see it? Because I know mine.
I've got a weird one. Mine's pretty weird.
Mine's kind of weird too. You go first, then. You made yours. You kind of set it up.
Freddy vs. Jason.
Really?
When I was 7, I watched Freddy vs.
You
Jason.
just knew you
with
weren't supposed to watch it.
I knew I wasn't supposed to watch it, but
Right.
it was with not only my best friend, but his dad and the whole family.
Right.
We're watching boobies and, getting cut in half and shit like that.
There's titty in that movie.
Oh, there's some nice fat titty in that movie.
Interesting.
And, I immediately knew it, but it was mischievous.
Yeah. What was yours, Chris? First movie you saw, not even like necessarily has like nudies in it, but like just a movie you knew you weren't supposed to see yet. Like it was way ahead of you.
Like it was way ahead of me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I should own it though.
You probably do. I think you own mine.
You go ahead. Go ahead.
Mine's an obvious. I mean, so when I used to go to my dad's apartment, it was the first movie I saw that I knew. I just immediately knew this wasn't the movie for me. It was American Pie.
What else you
All
doing?
right.
I immediately saw it and I was like, there's jokes, there's words I know I wasn't supposed to be hearing because I think it came out in what, 99? So like I knew like I was not supposed to be watching that movie at all.
What else you do in your dad's apartment?
Okay, I actually got it. It's between two because I can't remember which one I saw first. It's between Aliens
Okay.
or American History X.
Okay. I mean, yeah, those are both. Yeah.
That's quite some themes for anybody
I
under 10.
saw,
That'd be pretty
A little
incredible.
bit of a different
I
spectrum
saw
there,
American
but-
History X pretty young.
Coming out of the room with
And
a bald
one,
head.
That one changed me a little bit.
Yeah.
That was a brutal movie.
Graphite pencil swastika on the neck when you leave the room after that. I had my
Put your
American
mouth on the
history.
curb.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
God, that scene's haunting.
I called it my bite the curb phase.
Yeah.
From 10 to 11, I
Oh,
was
yeah,
a
that
white
was-
supremacist.
That was a long time ago.
Good Lord.
Just terrible.
All right, Brian, what'd you watch?
I'll be honest. I usually do pretty good with this stuff. I usually keep up to date, watching new stuff every week.
Oh, don't put on a show.
No,
for
I'm
them. You
not.
don't do any
I'm
of this.
not. I do try to like at least watch one or two new movies that I bought a week. But this week has just been a waste of space. I've been a garbage human. All I've done is rewatched Entourage. I started it like a couple days ago. I'm already on season 4. I don't know. Were you guys Entourage guys? I know Chris. We've talked about it many a time. Kyle,
I was for a little bit.
Can I guess when you dropped off?
I never really followed it
Okay,
too
that's
hard.
fair.
I would
All
watch
right.
the occasional episode every once in a while, but then I think just like the further I got, the older I got, honestly, I just didn't find it nearly as funny as I used to.
No, it's like I said, I still watch it just because I've enjoyed it. I think it's about the third time I've watched it through. I can't imagine a show that gets progressively worse as that show does.
Yeah.
But it still holds its charm. Like you want to root for it.
When it dives into the insane drug abuse
Right.
and sex abuse that the lead
It
kind of
almost
like
dips into
falls
dark
into.
comedy.
Yeah, it gets really like uncomfortable to watch a little bit.
I'm gonna go on a limb here. I say Vince is one of the most unlikable TV characters of all time. Like
See, the thing is, I liked Vince in earlier seasons.
how though? All right, so I'm just rewatching some. They're fresh in my mind. But do you remember when he started dating the chick? I think this is where actually his downfall was because he was good up until this point, but he started dating the chick who like made him go vegan for an episode and like took him to the weed dealer.
Yeah.
That was his downfall because that was the first time I was like, Vince, you're dumb. Like this girl sucks.
No, that girl did not come early in the show, did she?
Season 2.
Oh, I thought that was later.
Season 2, yeah. I mean, it's not like super early, but I mean, it's season 2. But I think that was his first moment where I was like, come on, Vince, really? Like, this girl clearly sucks. Like, one of the worst on the show by far yet. So, I mean, that's all I've really watched so far this week, though. I mean, nothing crazy.
It kind of reminds me of the way I was with The League. Like
See, that show, I fell off so hard.
I fucking loved
fell
it.
off
I watched
really,
it.
yeah.
Well, see, I like watched it at least. I watched at least the whole filmography, or at least through Netflix.
Right.
For like 2 weeks straight, I would know every single episode by heart because I go to bed and watch it.
Honestly,
again,
that's
'cause I
me.
loved it.
I mean, I think me and Chris, I know you
It
probably
was
too.
so fucking refreshing, and then
Yeah.
as soon as I jump back into it, I'm like, I don't even know why I'm laughing at this
What
shit.
shows have you watched the most? Like, I know you're currently doing it too with The Office. So.
Yeah, I'm watching The Office again.
Yeah.
But just because, and it's recent, I've watched True Detective season 1
That's great.
True
show.
almost
Detective-
3 times
Yep.
already.
Yeah. I can't praise enough how refreshing that show is. Like,
Season 1.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Season 1.
Season
Don't-
2
no,
was a train wreck.
there never was a season 2. There was
There was
only
season 1 and
It was a
then-
miniseries.
Yeah,
True Detective was a
And
miniseries.
all the people that tell you season 2 gets better
It doesn't.
as the season goes on, there are snippets where it seems great.
Yeah.
And then the final episode happens, and everything that needed to be concluded is concluded in the first 15 minutes in an hour and a half long episode.
So
it drags.
When
to
someone
nothing.
tells you to keep watching season 2, you punch them in the fucking face.
That's honestly
because they tell you
yeah.
to sit through 9 hours of garbage to enjoy 45 minutes of
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So don't ever listen to them. Or if you are that kind of person, I literally piss on your grave
The
because
season was
2 was
just
disgusting.
It was so convoluted. Like there was so much going on for a 9-episode series.
I feel like
It was
coming
so
off the
hard to follow.
coattails of True Detective season 1 was the thought of how do I, or
Love it.
at the very, or like an inflated sense of this needs to be a masterpiece.
Right.
And I don't even think it like failed because season 1 was so good. It just failed because it just wasn't
that
good.
good.
Right? It's usually like an expectation
Season 2,
thing.
season 2 just lost all brevity,
Right.
all sort of modesty.
Everything
into
that made the
story.
show good in the first
exactly
season.
because
yeah.
season 1 was not hard to follow.
No.
and that
No,
wasn't.
it was very
It
simple.
was.
They
it was,
tried. Yeah, they tried to pretzel everybody in season 2, and
yes,
they just made us look like
they tried
assholes.
making it like a
Yeah.
ensemble. Almost like a Scorsese style. Here's everybody. Here's what they're doing, and here's how we figure it out.
Right.
Not any further than that, but like a movie where you're forced to follow, or a show where you're forced to follow 8 or 9 different people.
Right.
During the course of 3 episodes.
And another show I've watched 100 times is Chuck. I love that show.
For me, it's Always Sunny. I can go back and watch any episode of It's Always Sunny 100
Except not
times.
the current ones.
Up to season 7, I would say.
I've never even bothered to watch Chuck.
Me
What
either.
do you like it?
Is that a USA show?
No, Chuck
it's
was
NBC.
NBC show.
Was it really?
Yep. It was
It was before My Name Is Earl. And
Oof.
it was before that. Yeah.
it aired, like I mean like on those days it would air before that.
What I liked most about Chuck is that it was so lighthearted and it was so easy to watch. And the thing is like they put so much love and time into that show because the only reason it was on the air was because of the fan service.
He was Geek Squad, right?
He was Nerd Herd. Yep. He was the
right.
Geek Squad. Yeah.
That's right. Well, I don't know. I might. Is it on Netflix?
It is on Netflix.
I'm gonna give
all
that a
of them.
shot. I'm definitely gonna give that a shot.
And the final couple episodes are heartbreaking.
really?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
heartbreaking, and they're talking about making a movie. Netflix was talking about either bringing it back
Huh.
for more seasons or making a movie, which would be amazing.
One thing I want to talk about real quick. I fucking love that Netflix is just picking up shows that
It's
just did
awesome.
not start.
I mean,
awesome.
perfect segue because I was literally just about to bring up. I was just reading yesterday. I know it's been talked about 1,000 times already. They're really talking about bringing back Young Justice for a 3rd season. It's like it's heating up. Like I always thought it was gonna be a rumor, like oh Netflix gonna pick up, Netflix gonna pick up. If Hulu or Netflix doesn't pick this show up, they're the biggest clowns on the planet.
What's awesome, like one of the prime examples of why I love this is there's a show on A&E called Longmire. After season 2, it got canned completely.
Yeah, because no one watched it.
Well, the thing is, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was so campy and so, but like in its own almost self-aware state.
Right.
That it, like, I just love the way it was, and Netflix picked it up. And when you give someone who's been directing this lowish budget film or TV show, and you give them almost 15 times as much of a budget, it is the funniest thing to see what comes out of that. Those new episodes that came out of Longmire was fucking exponentially better than the first 2 seasons combined. I absolutely loved it.
Who picked it up? Netflix, you said?
Netflix picked it right up.
And it's on there. So
it's on there.
Is the first 2 on there?
The
as well?
new, yes. So
I'll check that
you could
out.
tell immediately that
Like
it's
I said,
just
I need new
full
stuff
Is
to
it
watch.
anything like Justified? Because I don't love Justified.
it's almost in the vein of Justified.
Okay.
Almost. But it's still grounded in it, almost like Law and Order format.
Okay.
Let's be clear. Everything Netflix picks up for a season doesn't always do well.
No.
Fucking
never.
Arrested Development.
Oh yeah.
That was I don't know if you were you a Arrested Development guy.
I absolutely.
know you were.
I
know
liked
you
it
were.
originally. Yep.
Absolutely.
You didn't. We both agree we didn't watch.
I didn't watch the new
No,
season.
I didn't
agree.
finish it.
I'm one of those people. I usually binge watch something as soon as I can.
Yep.
But that was one I waited on because I wanted to hear if it was good or not. Because if I knew if it was bad,
Yep.
I didn't want to taint my memory of the show.
Of
Right.
course.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Like,
it was a
that
great
show
show.
was one of the best of all time for what it was on, and I didn't. If it was bad, I didn't want to have a sour taste in my mouth ever leaving that.
Yeah.
So I never bothered. I know it's kind of hypocritical to say, well, you didn't see it, so you don't. Fuck you. it's. I don't want to watch.
Honestly, I'll be the one to tell you that you didn't really
miss anything, right? And that's what I've heard.
At least the first episode was a lot of callbacks. Right. I don't know. I
Which
don't
I
really
figured the whole
belittle.
because what better way to cash in on the fan base than just to kind of make jokes towards like
But
we already know.
to that credit, they definitely maintained. If anything, they completely maintained the feel of
fair.
all the rest of Development, the dry, everything that came out of it.
Maybe I will give it a chance one day, but for now, I never need to see it because I'm never craving. Like I never left that season when it ended. Be like, I need to find out what happens if it's at a stake of it being bad.
You don't have to put it down.
Not like Deadwood.
One of
How
the
much
silliest
did you-
cancellations
Yeah,
of all time.
that was. But
But they are making the movie.
It's confirmed.
They're making a Deadwood movie. They're going to finish it. And they're going to finish it right, which is very exciting.
A la Firefly, like we talked about the other day.
Oh my God, Firefly. Serenity could not have been better.
Right.
Like
I
they could
didn't
not
see
have made
that's
a better
another one.
movie
I
for
love the
Firefly.
show. Didn't see the movie, but
I can't fucking stand Joss Whedon. I have to drop that bombshell. I think Joss Whedon is a piece of shit.
So next week on Theater for 3 podcast,
Kyle is no longer a part of the show.
Theater for
gonna
2
talk about
podcast.
On that, we're going to skip to
Yeah.
the Batman versus Superman trailer.
Right, new trailers came out this week. It's a big week, actually big day for trailers. Obviously a week.
Yeah. Joss Whedon's a piece of shit.
All right, we're going to talk about Batman.
Okay.
Let's talk about. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Firefly
I'm
was
gonna.
hot
Zack
garbage.
Snyder's also a piece of shit.
Yeah, Joss Whedon can suck a dick, though.
Chris, I'm gonna let you lead with Deadpool. I'm gonna lead with this.
Okay.
I think out of the three of us, it's fair to say I'm the most excited for Batman vs Superman. It seems like at this point.
Not a doubt about that.
Right. So, I mean, this trailer, we'll put the link down below. If this was the only trailer they released, there is a whole different vibe going into this movie. A whole different vibe. At this point, they released 3 trailers, and I don't think I've seen... I think I've seen about 80% of the movie.
Yeah.
Which is the disappointing part. I think we all can agree on that. For me, I couldn't... I'm
true.
still going to be in line at 6 o'clock. Gonna have my pre-sale ticket, gonna Fandango it just like we did for Deadpool, because I can't fucking wait. And it's a comic book.
Oh, for sure. I'm still going to see
Right.
it.
I
Yeah,
grew
I'm
up.
absolutely gonna
I
see
grew
it
up a
too.
comic book guy. That was one thing I shared with my grandfather. Was he passed down comic books to me. So it's just like the allure, the sexiness. Like they could probably show me the rest of the movie and the rest of the trailers, and I'll still be like, fuck, I have to go see this
yeah.
movie just because it's Batman versus fucking Superman for the first time
See,
on screen. It doesn't
I
have to
don't-
be verse because
I just don't know why they can't do it like Civil War. They've released one trailer, and the trailer has...
2 trailers now. Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Super Bowl. The
But
Super Bowl
they've
trailer. We'll
had
get to that.
everybody nuts over that movie, because that trailer has been shown in how many movies now, and it's still awesome every time you
Batman
watch it.
vs Superman had a lot more to prove. If
agree.
anything,
No, I agree with
there
that.
was a much more negative response from Ben Affleck.
Well, yeah, because he's not going to be
So,
Batman.
exactly. Like they had to
Don't even start with
explain.
me, Ben Affleck.
They had to.
That's
They
another
have to
podcast.
convince. They have to convince everybody that hey,
And
this
it's-
is worth fucking.
And it's
watching.
not even just Ben Affleck. I mean, they have one movie under their belt,
And
and
also that Man of Steel movie was absolute trash.
Bad, and that's what I'm
It
saying.
wasn't good.
It
yeah.
was not good.
And here's the thing, Marvel. I mean, you can say what you will about Marvel if you're not a Marvel fan.
Well, they're not coming off of their own
Right.
Winter Soldier,
and they're not firing off bangers.
Exactly,
Like,
they're not rolling down. Like
Yeah.
this is not. They have to. This is their jumping off point.
And Marvel-
Suicide Squad hasn't come out.
Suicide Squad looks good. I think.
Yeah, and every DC movie before this, besides the Dark Knight, that trilogy has just been dog shit.
Yeah.
Dark Knight. Yeah, the Dark Knight trilogy
And
was their only decent trilogy, really.
And I don't know, this is probably gonna be another one, but that trilogy got worse as it went as well. Like, I mean,
Absolutely.
my order in that movies, it went. I went. Batman Begins was my favorite.
Yeah, that was mine as well.
It literally went right in order.
It was mine as well.
It was the best Batman
Mine as
story,
well.
and it really was a Batman story through and through, because it wasn't even the fact that it was an origin story. It just felt like the most real Batman story they've told to date. And because like if you look back at the old ones, they obviously got your cartoon aspects of it.
Yep.
I mean, you got Bat Nipples, you got got Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
Yep.
So there's definitely more cartoony feel to
West.
it. And for me, especially I said growing up just reading Batman, that was the first time where like I sat back and I was like, wow. They fucking nailed Batman. Like that was it.
It was good.
Like I said, he didn't get worse. I just think the movies they took out what the heart of what the Batman Begins was, which was like the dark, not even the darkness, but like it just had that feeling to it, and it got progressively like saturated as it went on, in my opinion at least.
In the defense of, could it have been, just to play devil's advocate here?
Yeah.
You were absolutely wanting a good Batman film. Like,
Absolutely.
I mean,
No doubt.
almost everybody across the globe wanted a good Batman film.
I mean, I was really young when that movie came out.
the thing was,
yeah,
like, when I came into it, I couldn't have cared less if a Batman movie came out or not.
Yeah.
So Batman didn't hit me nearly as hard. Batman Begins didn't. And then The Dark Knight came out, and it hands down threw me headfirst into Batman altogether.
Oh yeah, it was great.
See, I think that's where like growing up, that was the Batman in the animated series was my childhood.
Because it was just the perfect storm.
Right.
I mean, the style of that was like a so relatable, so tangible world, with Heath Ledger on drugs being the Joker, which is another fucking perfect storm.
Heath Ledger
was
wasn't
great.
even the best Joker. I like Jack Nicholson better than Heath
But
Ledger.
to be fair, this was so amazing. It's such a different language
yeah,
that
it's
came out of
different.
it.
Oh no, I agree.
It's
Like I said,
more real.
I'd never disliked any of the three
It was
movies.
no Joker that I've ever seen.
That's fair.
You can't. There was no. The one thing about it was all terrifying. Like it wasn't
Yeah, it
just
was-
hey, here's this kind of like cheeky. I mean, Jack Nicholson on top of that did a phenomenal job.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But like to the point where a Joker was he was so comfortable with being his own sort of humor that no one else found
Yeah, absolutely.
funny at all, because they were all dying from it. So like. You got to look into. It was more so he was a straight up psychopath, and you got to look in through him. That just made everything 10 times better. Like if you had that Jared Leto shit going on in The Dark Knight, I don't think
that's two different worlds. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
It's,
I mean,
I could
it's a
not-
hard
yeah.
argument there. Like, but like anybody else, you cast literally any other style of Joker in that. I can't fathom another Joker going into that could have made it great.
Back to the trailer though.
Right.
Right. Yes.
And then like so that's the thing is kind of bringing it full circle.
Back to Joss Whedon.
Batman the animated series, like I said, my childhood growing up. And when I look at Ben Affleck in these fucking trailers, man, he's the same Bruce Wayne in that show when I watched as a kid as I'm seeing now.
I totally get that, like almost like Batman Beyond vibe of like that
a
kind
little
of
bit, not as old obviously, but
Right.
you're that same
but
kind of like
near that where it's
you could tell like we're not getting the Batman Begins origin story like we got. We're literally getting a seasoned Batman.
It is an
already.
aged
Yeah,
Batman.
we're already getting him.
and it's a Gotham ass Gotham.
And you're gonna
saying-
pause, right? I'm gonna let Chris talk because
He's got something on his mind.
he's got some Ben Affleck
Yep.
takes.
So here we go.
I'm not saying that Ben Affleck doesn't look like Bruce Wayne.
Fair.
I'm saying I cannot stand him as an actor.
Because you still think he can act.
He's unwatchable in my
You
eyes.
like what? One movie we agreed on?
I liked
think
Argo.
That was it, yeah.
I mean, I love Gone Girl as a movie. I don't
Tell
think
me,
it was
Superman.
good because of him.
Do you bleed?
I don't think
you
Gone
guys.
Girl was good because of him. I mean, he was fine in it. He was tolerable. But there's just things about him that I can't stand. Like, he overacts.
Right.
And that's the problem.
You want to start something, Superman?
Yeah. Yeah, his Boston accent sucks.
It's just disgusting. Back to Goodwill Hunting.
No, but in all seriousness, like,
Chasing Amy.
you can't say he was bad in that movie. Like,
No,
right.
Chasing. Well,
Right.
I can say
But
he was bad
continue.
because Chasing Amy was just a good movie.
So you're scared that Ben Affleck has taken taken this role. Taken.
He's Liam Neeson this role.
Exactly. Yeah. He's taken this role. Taken 3 this role.
Taken 3 this role.
To the point where he knows he has so much to play with that he's going to shit on all of it.
Here's my thing. Is a question for you, Chris.
He's not built like a Batman.
You worry he's going to take it too seriously?
Yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you feel like he has too much to prove to the point where he's going to absolutely oversell it?
He's going to try and overact Bruce Wayne in a movie where you have Henry Cavill as Superman, who literally looks like the chiseled Superman from
looks
a comic
like
book.
him. That guy can act as well.
Also, not a good.
Either.
Also,
he's
not a good
actor.
I mean, Jesse Eisenberg. I think this whole movie is going to be overacted because they picked good actors to play parts that don't even match.
I know exactly. That's perfect. It doesn't fit. This casting call does not fit with the movie they're trying to portray.
It's not right.
It's not like
Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor doesn't matter. Lex Luthor's son, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't make sense. Gal Gadot does not look like Wonder Woman.
Nope. And
I'm probably gonna reference these two a lot, but I used to live in Florida. Obviously, my old roommates Chris and Zach. We used to have this conversation a lot. When she first got announced as Wonder Woman, my roommate Zach hated the choice. He's a big DC guy. I don't think he even cares about Marvel. Big DC guy through and through. Hated that casting. I loved it. I think she looks awesome as Wonder Woman. I don't know what don't you like about her?
Also, kind of a spoiler alert. It's not just Batman versus Superman in this movie.
It's
if you haven't watched this trailer,
right?
They show you a whole lot more.
And don't forget
about this.
They didn't show us everything because fucking Aquaman's still in it.
Yep.
And there's rumors of Flash and Cyborg making appearances.
I think what's disgusting about these trailers are or at least the marketing leading up to these trailers is it's not a Batman versus Superman movie. It's not at all that.
I'm just gonna get it out now. Here's a PSA to all trailers going forward. Every fucking movie studio needs to go back and watch what they did with Star Wars. They literally gave us one trailer, and if they did give us another trailer, they added maybe about 5 seconds.
It was
perfect.
There was nothing you could piece together from it, which was fantastic.
Right, you knew what characters were, not which obviously, but you knew which characters. Okay, that's a good guy, that's a bad guy. That's it.
But I think the point of that,
and it got you excited.
Not all movies can do that. This is Star Wars we're talking about.
No,
they don't have to put on an ad at all.
They literally could have just put out ads. Star Wars Episode 7, Force Awakens. Fuck you, take your money.
They would have sold. They would have sold the exact same amount of seats.
Deadpool, yeah. I mean, here's the thing.
Deadpool. I tried as hard as I could not to watch any trailers of Deadpool.
So you never saw a Deadpool trailer?
I saw one, and that was the CG with the car.
Right, you saw the test footage.
Exactly, and that was all I saw because I knew as with every comedy, they put their selling jokes in those trailers.
And to be honest, I was worried that was going to be the only funny parts, and I was completely wrong because actually I thought the unfunny parts were in the trailer.
We'll get back to that.
I think we'll get back to that. Yeah. But I mean, as a whole, I mean, like I said, I'm still excited for Batman or Superman. That I wish I never saw the first 2 trailers, and this was the only one they showed me. And even then, like said, that we probably know the movie's gonna end up sucking.
This was the best of the 3 trailers.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Batman versus Superman is just gonna be dog shit.
I agree.
I'm gonna have to play that card.
Boys, we'll pot about that when we get there, and we'll go back and replay this one when I'm laughing in your faces, and you guys are like, oh, that was an awesome movie.
Well,
I can't wait.
Let me just say, if anything is telling, I'm not going to be surprised by anything because of the trailers.
That's like I said,
it could be a great movie.
I'm still rooting for it just because of the holy shit nostalgia factor. I'm seeing Batman and Superman on the same screen with Wonder Woman, with the eventual Justice League, which is something we've been dying for. But like you said, DC feels like it has too much.
I don't know if I want.
They're moving too fast.
I don't want a Zack Snyder directed Justice League.
But here's the thing: is that's the shitty part is they came into the game late. Not really late because they had the Nolan trilogy, obviously, but. They knew they couldn't rip off the Marvel formula of just making these solo movies and then firing it into Justice League. You just can't do that.
It all seems forced as shit.
Exactly.
It seems like they've all been trying to chase that Avengers dragon.
Absolutely.
To try and get their own direct competitor to the Marvel franchise that is just a tour de force of filmmaking in a lot of ways that has made more money than rivaling the Star Wars trilogy.
Oh yeah,
all of these Marvel movies have just come out and blitzed. And
we'll get back into this later because I have something to say about that.
That's my ex-employer Disney, by the way. We just fire out banger after banger. It's just kind of what we do. So no big deal, but kind of a big deal.
Oh my god, how many times is he going to talk about it?
I'll probably bring up at least no more than that.
All right, what other trailers do we got?
I mean, we could talk about. I kind of want to go back a week, but the new Civil War footage we saw at the Super Bowl.
It was short.
Very short. That's what I like. I mean, they said they
Showed
gave
Black
us a little
Panther
bit
again.
more. Yeah, they showed a very good close up of Black Panther. We start to see sides being taken. I don't want to get too much into it because, like I said, I really don't want it. The trailers, this is the perfect amount. But the one thing I did notice throughout the trailer, maybe we could put up a screenshot of it. We could put up I'll put it on Twitter. But Ant-Man's got some new gear. Mm-hmm. Looks good. So, like I said, really not much to take away from the trailer. They didn't show us too much, but yeah.
They showed us too much at the theater trailer.
That was the first trailer.
disagree.
Yeah,
I think
it was a perfect amount of sex. Like it was.
there was
I
a good amount of
disagree.
sex.
Yeah.
There was definitely a good amount of sex.
I don't think they showed too much.
No,
I
me either, yeah.
I really hated the framing of it. Everybody's seen the comic. Everybody knows.
See, here's the thing. So
Not everybody's seen the comic, but I should
Right.
say everybody knows the framing of Chris Evans is probably not going to come back for another one.
all right, guys, let's get this out of the way.
Let's
He's gonna
Spoiler
survive.
alert.
Yeah, spoiler if you've never read the comics. Fucking, he dies in the comics.
Yes.
All right? It's not a big secret. I'm assuming you're following along. I don't think he's gonna die in this movie.
Yeah,
do.
the vibe that I got from the trailer, and that's why I brought it up to you in the theaters, was I've got the vibe that the chips were really down for Captain America and that, to the point where I think they know what we know and what we think,
Right.
and they're not going to do that at all.
I think they have to do it.
I think they might even kill Iron Man.
I'm not. Ooh,
Like, I
hot
think
that-
Cake City.
I think they go fucking...
No, they can't do that. They won't do that because Robert Downey Jr. is still casted for the next Avengers.
Could be flashbacks.
It's just like...
He's a big part of the next
He's just
Avengers.
a hologram.
I know. I agree.
It's just
I
a
don't think,
hologram.
I'm just trying to play
Just a
devil's
hologram.
advocate.
They're
No,
not-
all
they're
right,
not
so
gonna-
Iron Man's definitely a jump.
Hologram.
Iron Man's definitely a
That's
jump.
a stretch.
But I don't think
War Machine, maybe.
they could kill Bucky. They could easily kill Bucky.
Oh no,
instead.
No,
he
'cause
signed
he
on for the
becomes
most of
Captain
it.
America.
He's
Well,
not-
that's the thing. They could just kill him and say, fuck it.
No.
We still have a Captain
He
America.
signed on for the most movies. He has the longest contract out of anybody on Marvel
And
right
he's
now.
casted as Captain America in the next Avengers.
I just find it really fucking hard to believe that they can just go. They can have all this, back work with it, like everything working in the background. That we all know that Chris Evans is not going to be in another Captain America movie.
And we also know that Thor is going to die in Ragnarok, right?
Which is another thing that I don't think.
They're definitely gonna kill Thor. Like he's
Yeah,
probably
he's
probably the easiest one to kill.
That movie's going to be wild.
So here's the thing, if you follow along with the comics, I mean, recently this is not even like an older one, but not too long ago, it was probably about a year. I don't know, probably close to a year now. But Captain America and Thor went through big changes.
Oh, yeah.
Cap went to Falcon.
Yep.
Sam Wilson became Cap, and then there was a Lady Thor. So I'm not saying they're gonna do that, but they're proving. I think that was kind of like a clue that like, hey, these characters are fucking expendable, and we can get rid of them, and you're still gonna come see these movies.
Just wait till Infinity Gauntlet comes
Infinity
out.
Gauntlet. I'm be surprised
Infinity
if
Wars.
anybody survives that.
That's gonna be.
Well, I said how many Marvel
There's
characters? Like
67 right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And 34 of them are probably gonna die in that.
And they said we've only seen half of the ones that are going to be in
And
it so far.
They
so-
showed the roadmap for at least the next till 2020.
right, and there's I think we had like 38 characters that we know are going to be in it right
But
now.
the thing is, Infinity Wars is coming soon. Like,
Infinity Wars comes out in 2017
yeah,
or
or
2018.
2018.
that soon?
Yeah, it's coming
Fuck.
soon. So I wonder if they just kind of. I really hope they don't fuck that up. But they might just jump into, hey, here's oh God, what's his name? Oh shit, who's the guy that appears out of nowhere?
The guy,
Yeah, the guy, that dude with the eyeballs.
Sam Jackson.
Dr. Marvel is gonna be
Captain
there.
Marvel?
Okay.
Captain Marvel, sorry, Captain
She's
Marvel.
she's a woman.
Yeah, she's a woman.
Yeah, okay, and then
Who did I say was going to be Captain Marvel?
You said it was a perfect casting choice. I forgot her
the
name.
girl from Battlestar Galactica.
I don't know her name.
Oh
Want me
my
to Google
god.
it? I'll
Yes,
pull it up.
please.
and what's the other guy's name? Something. Oh God, guy with the orange skin, blonde hair. He came out.
Your
of
Marvel
the-
knowledge is outrageous.
Came out of the Infinity, like gems, and he was the reason. He's like
Talking about Vision?
Yeah, the Vision.
no, not Vision, not Vision. It's another guy. His name is like a normal name too. God damn it! Let me look this up real quick. Why are you on Battlestar Galactica?
I'm trying to find that girl's name. Is it
Oh. Battlestar Galactica blonde. You're not on a good track here.
Trisha Helfer?
No, I got it for you, Brian.
All right. Well, what do you think
Just
of?
keep talking.
But all right, so I mean, that was Civil War talk, really. I mean, like I said, not trying to get too much into it. There's not too much to talk about. That's the reason being.
Katie Sackhoff.
That was a great choice. If you don't know what she looks like, again, we'll put all these pictures, we'll put all these links we're talking about up on our site. But I mean, we did see, like I said, not to be a dead horse, but we did see Deadpool tonight. We did see some new trailers attached to that. The one we wanted to talk about was, I know we want to talk about the Purge, new Purge trailer.
Yeah. How much do you want to talk about it though? Like,
Not a lot. No, I just want to touch on it.
What, that it looked like shit?
You guys both agreed it looked like shit.
I don't think it looks like
Oh,
shit.
interesting.
I think
plot turns, bitch.
yeah, right. Now the tape, we're gonna shift this.
There were some
Literally
cool
the shit.
scenes.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't feel completely sour on it.
The scene down the alley with
with the guillotine.
Yeah, the
Very
guillotine.
cool.
That was awesome.
The people hanging and that girl dancing, frighteningly scary.
But then they showed too damn much.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
They showed not only showed too damn much, but they gave reliance on actors that were not good for the film.
No, and they're not.
The
They're not
thing
actors.
is, like, and who cares about continuity between movies?
No, who cares?
I could give 2-3 shits.
like for all I care about, this could all be happening during that very first purge that we saw in the
and
first one.
and I hope they really realize what kind of style they've
Right.
had, especially with the masks they use, the
Right.
neon that they have. Like,
I mean,
they have a style about them.
And like I know you said, I heard you whisper it during like the trailer while we were watching it. I heard you say something about them franchising it.
Yeah.
well, it makes perfect sense. So like when I first heard about the Purge movie, it made so much fucking sense that this movie was going to be
you
awesome.
can work so much around it.
Right, and like
But-
it's such a good concept. Like the first movie didn't capitalize on that
Under-delivered.
because they're like, look at this fucking awesome idea.
Didn't capitalize and it was a piece of shit.
Right,
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
the reason being is because like they gave us this awesome
Because it was a slasher
plot,
flick.
Yeah, the plot idea was amazing.
All
So like
of-
the
yeah,
crime is legal all around the world for
How
12
much
hours.
Exactly.
can
Let's
you do
focus
with
on
that
one
plot?
family.
It
Yeah.
could have been
Exactly.
incredible.
And
And
Stay
I
in
think
one household.
they're starting to really learn from it, but they're really not. What they need to do
They're
is
still
just
focusing on
right.
one person.
They just need to make a Grand Theft Auto style like fucking
They can't-
Purge
They
movie.
do the same thing with like Day After Tomorrow. They
Right.
focus on one family. With
They almost got Day After Tomorrow deserves some credit. But anyway, what I feel that's another podcast again. What I really want the Purge to do, and what I really hope they do, is they live in that style that they've given themselves.
Yeah.
That aesthetic.
And, like-
that is incredible. The masks that they use,
Yeah.
the characters that they have in there. But instead they're relying so much on terrible acting, terrible storylines.
Oh yeah.
That one guy trying to speak English was the most disgusting thing
the
I've ever
first
heard.
movie?
We need to take care of her, or something like in the trailer.
Oh,
That
yeah,
dumbass
yeah,
guy
yeah,
who was
yeah.
trying to take care of a senator. All that is just disgusting. If they just shaved that off and had even just a little smidge of storyline instead of what they have now, you could have such a better film.
Yeah.
Like, I think they've done a good job with the franchising part, at least. I mean, Hollywood in Universal Orlando, they have it at the Hollywood Horror Nights when they do their Halloween stuff. They have a Purge section of the park,
Right.
And even in the Hollywood, California, they have a Purge tram ride
It's-
where you
like
literally
I
go
said,
and like. I mean, so like
it could be a
It's the
franchise.
mass.
It could be a
it's the things you
franchise.
recognize. So
Exactly.
the horn. I mean, like even that
Yep.
sound of like the
Oh,
this is the Purge
yeah.
commencing.
Yep.
Is, they have a chance to capitalize, but I feel like they, like you said, like Chris just said, they're still focusing on the small group of
They've
people.
never captured
and
the
nobody wants to.
And we're following the same
Right.
person from the second one.
And it's people we just don't
Like,
care
just give me
about.
someone
Yeah,
new.
it's people we just don't care about.
330 million people in this country, and you can't pick 2 other people.
Right.
2 more
unbelievable.
interesting people in
Right.
the fucking country.
Like, give us a senator, so we're making a politics movie now.
Exactly. Like,
I get the
no.
concept. I guarantee they thought it was cool because it's like, all right, so we're bringing the politics side of it, like what the government thinks about it.
Right.
We don't give a shit. We just want to see people get guillotined and someone's like Deadpool,
Guillotine.
someone's head
Right,
kicked off and
exactly.
like kicked to them.
So, in the vein of franchising, let's take another one from the other side of the
Exactly.
argument. 10 Cloverfield Lane.
oh yeah.
I think
good
in the
choice.
name of franchising, 10 Cloverfield Lane is a fucking amazing
Let me
idea.
say one thing. Bryan didn't like Cloverfield.
That's fine.
name?
No, it's still
No,
fine.
the movie.
Oh,
You
the movie,
hate.
I hate the movie. Yeah. I hate the movie. I'm not afraid to hide
Okay.
that.
I mean, that's fine.
The
I have
little
a knife
spider
in my pocket.
things like gave me nightmares for about 2 weeks.
That's fine. I'm going to bring a gun to
You
work.
hated it because it scared you.
No, I just hate it because I hated
You hate horror.
the found footage kind of style of it.
Did
I'm
you
not-
hate
that
it?
was
But
like
that was
one
like
of the first
exactly.
ones.
That's what I was going to
I
say.
hated it. Like I don't like any found footage. So like that was the first time I was like
It
the
leaves
shaky
little
camera.
room. It leaves little room for direction.
Right.
And
the shaky camera shit, I didn't like it. Wasn't a fan. I thought the movie was kind of goofy.
I definitely bought into that. I bought into that hard, and not only that, but like it was not only horror. There was a good amount of comedy there.
Yeah, it was
T.J.
a
Miller did a
comical movie.
fantastic
He was awesome.
amount of time.
Hey,
there.
he was in that movie. What movie did we see today?
Oh, I think it was called. Oh my
I don't know if
god.
you guys heard, but we saw Deadpool.
No,
But,
I thought
yeah.
it was called like 50 Shades of Black or something like
That's
that.
it.
Which,
That's yeah.
Don't worry, we'll have a whole podcast or 2 dedicated to that movie when it
It
comes
might have
out.
to be a sequel. But
Yeah.
No, like I said, but
No, 10 Cloverfield Lane, like in the vein of keeping the style and almost not related to the original film or their proprietor at all. 10 Cloverfield Lane looks phenomenal.
I think it looks great.
Well, I mean, here's the thing too: is something crazy. Is like that wasn't even a fucking supposed to be a sequel.
Yeah,
Right.
That was just a movie they
Abrams took that
scrapped,
over.
and he's like, this could be tied in very easily, and they're just like, in JJ.
Let me shower all of my brilliant creative juice.
JJ
all
just
over
came out Star Wars, so like, fuck yeah, give him another movie. So
Yeah, just off that coke rush that he got from
is
Star
he,
Wars production.
as of now, the hardest working guy in Hollywood? He's got to be. Look at the TV shows he's doing too. He's doing that
hardest
Franco,
working guy.
He's doing that Franco TV show. He just pissed out Star Wars.
He's
doing-
definitely one of the most successful guys in Hollywood.
And he's
right now.
not always like doing the big things. He's producing, he's directing, he's editing, he's writing. I mean,
That's
like,
never
he-
even crossed my mind, to be honest.
Right, he does a lot, man. I mean,
And I mean, to be fair,
As of now, I'm not
none
saying
of
all
his
time, but, like-
movies are even really bad.
No, I
and
mean-
they're all reviewed very well.
and he's always staying busy, so it's not like a director who, like what we say, Fincher, fucking makes us wait 8
Yep.
years for his movies.
Yeah, exactly.
J.J. Abrams is pissing out shit left and right, and they're always quality. So,
Fincher
I mean,
stays busy though. Ace
He
of
does. I mean, yeah, he
House
does.
of Cards,
Like,
Ace
yeah.
of Spades. I don't know
Oh,
what the
that's
fuck I was
right.
Ace of
thinking.
Spades.
Ace of Spades, great, yeah, great song.
Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades.
By the way, rest in peace. Let me kill Meister.
Rest in peace. 2 years later.
Yeah,
but,
right.
yeah.
Well,
2 months later,
2 months
whatever,
later,
yeah.
please.
2
Anyway,
years.
but like Fincher was busy for a good amount of time there with not only Gone Girl but House of Cards.
I'm sure we'll be seeing Fight Club 2 pretty soon.
I don't want to see Fight Club 2. We'll get that on another podcast.
Yeah, I don't want to see it at all. But
I don't. I know the book was phenomenal. I still
was
have yet to.
supposed to be, yeah.
I still have yet to read it. And I don't know how you can pick that up unless they do like a 10 Cloverfield Lane kind of style, where it's
Yeah.
not anything like they
The
somehow
original.
allude
Right.
to Project Mayhem or Tyler Durden Isn't Real.
Because, I mean, to be fair, Fight Club is one of the best movies.
Exactly, and this is me talking without even reading the second book, so I don't like. Fight Club wrapped itself up
It was,
phenomenally. There's
that
no
movie did
need.
not need a sequel.
Exactly. Well, the same thing with Cloverfield, and the same thing with The Purge.
That's true.
So
I think The Purge needed a sequel because I think they fucked up.
Yeah, because they
and
messed
to be
up
honest, the
needed to
sequel they did
redo
way
I
it.
don't think it needs another.
I didn't see the
sequel.
sequel.
The Purge 2 did way better. Purge Anarchy
I never
was
saw it.
so much better than the original Purge, just for the sake of like what we were
I actually
arguing.
didn't watch it because I hated the first one
Yeah,
so much.
well, that's the thing is that's how a lot of people didn't watch it,
Mm-hmm.
and going into that one, it was exactly what I wanted personally out of the first one was. It's not just trapped in a house with a slasher film, you know. It was you run around the city with fucking nightmare psychopaths running around.
All right.
All right. We're coming up on the 52-minute mark.
You know what that means?
There's only one other trailer I want to talk about.
Oh, yeah, we got
Deadpool.
to talk about... Yeah, Charlton.
This was
Copley.
all right. So this is the trailer.
Charlton of Duty.
Yeah.
Copeland of Duty.
I don't think. I mean, I don't know. Did you guys see that trailer up to that point?
No, that was
I
the first
saw
I
it.
saw
I
it.
saw it a couple months
I
ago,
heard you say something about it when
Yep.
it came on, but
and it was the exact same trailer I saw.
as for movie trailers go, I know we've been talking about a lot, like what not to do, what not to reveal. Bar none, one of the coolest movie trailers I've seen in a while.
It was awesome.
But I don't think that's going to translate to a good movie. The movie's called Hardcore Henry. I mean, like I said, we'll
I
put
think it's going to make me nauseous.
1,000%.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no way you're gonna there's no way you're gonna sit through that movie and be okay. It's a big screen Call of Duty game, and that's basically what it is.
That's why I'm thinking it might only be like 58 minutes long.
Is that the very first person?
Yep.
Point
It
of
is
view
the-
movie.
I mean, they've implemented first-person
Right,
segments
it's not
into, like,
dedicated to it.
Resident
But just
Evil
just not the
and
fucking
Doom
whole
and stuff
movie.
like that.
The
but-
Doom, yeah, the Doom one at the end is probably one of the coolest movie scenes of all
Oh my
time.
God,
But one of the worst
BFG ending.
movies.
Holy fuck, that was
Yeah.
amazing. But
The movie sucks, though.
Movie sucked, but
Again-
that's if you watch to that point, you're just like, fuck. that
well,
was
now I
worth it.
wonder if this movie comes out. I don't know if you guys played a lot of games or anything, but Oculus VR,
Oh, yeah.
the virtual reality headset. I wonder if that's going to be the jumping off movie of a VR headset. I wonder if that's why that's first person.
That would make
Interesting.
someone sick, because people play Grand Theft Auto on VR.
Oh no!
and
I
get sick.
when I went to PAX
Honestly,
to watch to use the Oculus, I got nauseous.
That like you said, that movie's gonna make people sick.
But
and
I
it's-
wonder if this is all about gimmick. What if it's all about these really amazing marketing ploys?
That's
like
honestly probably the greatest take
First-
we'll have
first
on this
page-
podcast.
right.
And that was the first episode.
first person.
Way to shoot at your whole entire load right now.
I'm
Because
literally my balls are dry.
yeah, I mean that's a great point.
Yeah,
I mean, like I
like-
said, VR is the big thing they've been talking about this entire year. So
I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up becoming like the first of first person,
Right.
first VR movie, first.
right,
And another thing to give, like, I think this movie's going to be fantastic for another reason, and that is because every single scene in there, as far as I've seen through trailers,
What's up,
is
Blazlo?
completely practical.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Completely practical.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no,
awesome.
There's no CG whatsoever. So you need a good coordinated actor that can wear
What
a
other
GoPro
movie
with a
was
motherfucker.
really practical effects in the last year?
Oh, Mad Max.
Yeah,
Mad
that
Max
one.
was definitely there.
like again, we don't have time for that right now, but that's something. But yeah,
There's Star Wars. Star Wars. is
Star
another
Wars,
one that,
JJ.
that relied heavily on
I know
practical
he
when
did.
they
That was
could.
pretty awesome. I mean, unlike George Lucas, who
just
decided
had
to go all CG.
Yeah, they just need to CGI another fucking 100 stormtroopers into the movie.
To be fair, in that era of movie making, everybody.
But nothing he CGI'd
Looked
contributed to the
don't
plot
worry.
in any way necessary.
George Lucas has no creative talent whatsoever,
Thank
and that's
you,
been
God.
solidified
he's awful.
years ago.
But yeah, that's the only movie I want to touch on just because trailer-wise and movie-wise, really haven't seen anything like that yet, so
Yeah.
I thought it was very cool.
It was cool.
Almost
I
made me
liked it a
puke
lot.
from just the trailer, but I probably won't be seeing that in theaters, but
And also,
definitely check out that trailer. Because
phenomenal
as for
marketing.
as for like I said, if you're a Call of Duty guy, if you're a first-person shooter guy, definitely something to look at because it is super interesting.
Very
and original.
Mirror's edgy.
Yes.
Like it's
yeah.
parkour,
Fuck that game, but yeah.
explosions, kicking. Charlton Copley.
Yeah.
They definitely have something. Definitely have something.
Definitely have something there.
They have
Not
Charlotte
for
Copley.
everybody. That's
I don't know if it'll be good, but it'll be original, and that's what's awesome.
Yeah.
It'll sell some tickets.
All right. The main event, bitch.
Deep breaths, boys.
Here we go.
Let's get into it.
Do you want? I'm going to let you lead off, Chris, because you've been looking forward to this movie probably longer than Ryan Reynolds himself. So go ahead.
All right. I'm like so nervous to talk about it right now because I know all the hate I'm about
You
to
better
get
be.
right now.
Me and I
Let me get a white knuckle hand job.
Right. I
Then.
can't.
Alright.
I can't wait to tackle you across this table.
Deadpool. It's a new Marvel movie, obviously.
That's the one we saw today. No, 50 Shades of Black. Sorry.
It's a crowded genre, obviously, because pretty much half the trailers we talked about today and half the movies we talked about today were superhero movies.
Yep.
So it's hard to get something original in a genre that has essentially attempted to do everything. But they did. I
Yep.
thought it was very original. Just so you know, there's going to be spoilers. Here, we're going to talk about the entire movie.
If you haven't
seen the movie,
Turn the podcast off
yeah.
Skip to
at this point
time.
because this is our last topic.
If you don't want to hear any more spoilers, skip to this time in the video.
The only other thing is that the only thing you probably missed towards the end is Kyle's going to tell us how he's still a virgin because he plays Dungeons and Dragons. But that's about it.
I don't
So-
play Dungeons and Dragons. I play Dungeons and Dragons,
So-
and I am a fucking virgin and a half. Thank you very much.
So that's about it.
Drop the mic. Now let's go back to Joss Whedon real quick.
All right.
Go ahead.
Let me get back to it.
Yep.
First thing, well, you asked me if I liked it more than Guardians and Ant-Man, and I did.
Bananas.
I liked it more than Ant-Man.
I can't swallow that pill.
I liked it more than Guardians, and Guardians was great. I'm afraid to say what I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I thought it was
I know it's
the best origin story out of any Marvel movie,
Oh, that's easy. That's easy for me.
bar none, not
Yeah.
even close.
I can totally.
I agree with that. Yeah,
I totally agree with that.
I agree with that too.
That's definitely not the most offensive.
Because
one.
just the way they did it. I mean, it's not because it was necessarily the best. It's just because they took something we've seen 100 times, not necessarily from Deadpool,
And made it different.
It just made it different. Yeah.
And that was awesome. And Ryan Reynolds, I mean, has been working on the script for 11 years. He's been trying to push this movie for 11 years. And I mean, Ryan Reynolds killed it as Deadpool. But the only reason he did is because he was literally born to play this role. And he is essentially Deadpool. I mean, that's how he is. I mean, he's got that attitude. And he has the attitude he needs to play Deadpool. And that's important. It is also the best Stan Lee cameo.
Absolute bar none.
And it's not even close. Again, it's
What a great fucking
Yeah.
thing to like see him in there and go. I'm glad that he's on board with Deadpool as much as we are. Like,
every other
We're
cameo.
not going to spoil that.
Right, I don't want to spoil that at all.
That we're not going to spoil.
I
Right.
definitely don't want to talk
but
about that.
it's definitely very heartwarming in a very good way.
It was
It-
very funny.
It's gonna happen when you least expect it, and I promise you that. Like the scene's gonna start, and you're gonna be like, okay,
Yep.
and then
I have no desire to spoil that.
right, no, that's definitely something. But yeah, definitely out of every other Stanley cameos playing in the little leagues, this is the only one that got called up to the majors because it is unbelievable.
So, essentially, I want to go back to saying Fox redeemed themselves after Fantastic Four.
Honestly, dude,
That
they
poop
could have
shoot.
put out my birth video, and they would have redeemed themselves after Fantastic Four. So
Yes.
Absolutely.
that
true.
had more suspense and plot. To
I
it.
made a joke. I made a very off-color joke in our last cut of this Audacity
We're
file.
not gonna bring it up.
We're not
We're
going to
not
bring it
gonna
up
say
at all. That definitely relates to Fantastic Four in a
To the
very
Fuhrer.
yes, the Fantastic Fuhrer. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about Fantastic Four and this iteration of our podcast.
All right, we're
That
done,
is what
we're
I
done
did
with
play
Fantastic
by, yeah.
Four. We're comparing it to
Yeah,
Deadpool
no,
right
that's
now.
yep.
But and the thing I was saying about the trailer earlier, that I thought the jokes in the actual movie were better than the jokes in the trailer. I actually thought the script was great. I thought it was really funny. It wasn't consistently dirty the entire time. Most of the jokes were pretty crass, but there were also a lot of jokes to, I mean, Ryan Reynolds' acting career where he said, what do you think I got by on good acting? I got by on my good looks. Like, he brings that up, and it's hilarious because he knows he's joking with himself and he knows he's joking with the audience. The breaking the fourth wall thing, obviously Deadpool does in the comic books, was not overused in this movie, and it wasn't obnoxious. And I'm going to say I loved this movie. And I'm going to tell it right to Brian's face.
That's not deaf ears.
You ready, Brian? You got to look at me on the eyes right now.
I'm not looking at you, so go
I
ahead
liked it more than Captain America 2.
I'm going to mute the microphone for a little bit here. Just bear with us. We're going to play some lounge music.
So,
get comfy for a little bit.
For those who don't know, that means that this is my new favorite Marvel movie. Unrivaled.
Kyle?
Bryan?
What the fuck? There's no way. Let me guess.
But you gotta understand that I am
a Deadpool guy.
I'm a Deadpool fan.
Take yourself out of that, and I still don't think you liked it better. Like, I'm telling you, your brain's tricking you. Your brain's playing tricks on you.
This is Bryan caring for you.
Yeah, like this is now an intervention.
He's watching out for your well-being.
Right. So,
but the thing is I did not laugh like I did in this in Captain America 2.
But Captain America 2 was not.
It wasn't a comedy. It was
right.
a great story.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No doubt. And I loved it for that fact.
Second favorite
I loved it for
superhero
this movie. I loved this movie. It's now my second favorite superhero movie.
What's your first?
Deadpool.
It'll be your first.
No, what's your second?
Captain America.
Oh, bitch.
Bitch. But, no. So the fact that I had as much fun as I had in this movie, because there is no downtime. It's not a chronological origin story. It starts off entertaining, and every time you think it's about to slow down, it gets right back into it. So there's no downtime in the movie. It's constantly entertaining. It's exciting. It's hilarious. Ryan Reynolds did a great job. Once again, T.J. Miller, absolutely hilarious.
I feel like he's very underrated. Like, I feel like he gets typecast as that goofy fucking person in every movie.
Yep.
But every time he does, he kills it. So, I mean...
And you also it's a first-time director with a budget of almost nothing for a superhero movie, at least.
Yeah.
And they pulled off making Colossus look more like Colossus than Bryan Singer could.
Yeah.
And the highly rated X-Men, Days of Futures Past, which it was a great movie. Colossus wasn't Colossus in that movie.
Full props to whoever did that. I love action figure Colossus in this movie.
It was
I don't know
absolutely amazing.
Incredible. Let's find out who did that.
And Ryan Reynolds loves this role. And he cared about it.
Yeah. Bryan, what do you guys
He
say?
had to because it was a saving grace. I mean, I'll let you go first, Kyle, because I feel like my takes are going to rival everything Chris just said.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll be the neutral head here.
The middleman, Dan.
I really enjoyed it. I had a ton of fun with it.
Shocking.
I had a ton of fun with it in a lot of ways that most movies that I've seen in theaters, at least movies in that vein of comedy. First of all, comedy. One of the best comedies I've seen in at least 3 years in theaters.
Better than Adam Sandler.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. This is no better than The Cobbler. I'm not going to put that in that range at all.
The birth video thing applies to this.
Exactly.
Well.
Birth and the Fuhrer.
Yeah.
Watching the Fuhrer be born still applies. But I think I've had so much fun with this movie that I haven't had in a long time.
Yeah.
And the one thing I can say about it is it's unconventional in a ton of ways. The way they've made it out to be, you said non-chronological, cut apart. I got very nitpicky with it because I expected so much more out of it. Mm-hmm. The comedy, the humor of it was very disappointing in a lot of ways. The way they went for the cheap shots. Mm-hmm. I hated how cheap some of those jokes were.
But that's Deadpool.
Well, it shouldn't be.
It's not. That's an unintelligent Deadpool.
Exactly.
I think we talked about the Bryan Posehn run of Deadpool.
Yes,
it's probably
Jerry
one of the
Duggan's version.
smartest comics I've read, while still having that great sense of humor. It
so
wasn't cheap. Yeah.
It reminded me of almost like an Attitude Era Rock, or you know what I mean?
That's
like
honestly the perfect analogy.
Way too much reference of the genitalia.
Yep.
Way too much.
Yeah, there's a lot of they didn't do enough physical humor. I don't mean that in like the my balls kind of way, but like
I mean they did though. Like the Colossus got
I'm saying it in a way of they did that way too much.
Yeah,
I'm talking about
that scene was hilarious. Though.
Yeah, but like
funny.
Deadpool's own, or I should say Ryan Reynolds' own acting quality without saying words was not put on display here. There was, like I said, when I brought that up in the mall.
You can't do it with
when
the mask.
he did, when Francis left, when he disappeared, and then
funniest
you
scenes
could
in the
tell behind the mask immediately what face he was portraying, and then how he did that kind of like dance was amazing quality, like Charlie Chaplin style, incredible. You didn't have to say a word, and I loved every single reaction out of him. They did not do enough of it.
And the scene where he had the bullet hole in his arm and he stuck his finger through his arm.
Yes, there wasn't. There was just not enough of that. And on top of that, the humor, the referential humor, the pop culture references were pathetic in a lot of ways. Yeah. I did not like whatsoever. I can't pull out an exact example. One that I did like, though, obviously, was the Professor X one. That was
best
dynamite.
joke.
Dynamite.
Best joke in the movie.
Some of the meta references of like him referring to himself,
but in Deadpool has to be meta.
No, I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah.
The scene where we were like, we couldn't afford any more Marvel characters.
Right.
But like when it was just him making fun of Francis when they were on the highway, nothing funny about that. There was nothing there.
No. Yeah.
There was the points where he was just straight up being immature, or like that scene where T.J. Miller was trying to like talk about explain what Ryan Reynolds looked like to him.
Yeah, that wasn't good either.
Super cringeworthy. Like a lot of that, like
So
you could tell where he went,
right.
improv this, and I want it to be gold.
Right.
And they just.
I can't wait to see the Blu-ray because the deleted scenes of that scene.
There's going to be like 17, 20 different
thousand.
Yeah.
So you could tell there were definitely some points where you didn't leave it up to, you didn't rely enough on Ryan Reynolds, or you didn't rely enough on the script itself, where I really did not like that. I loved still too much CG, way too much CG in there. Oh, yeah. The suit was brilliant. I absolutely love the way that suit pulled up. It was so uncanny.
Was there that much CG in that movie?
There was a ton. I mean, that beginning scene was all CG.
Right, yeah, the intro scene.
Totally, Colossus
completely
is not like
CG.
that big or steel, so...
Well, actually, have you seen that actor?
Oh, yeah.
He's made of actual chrome.
Whatever his name is, yeah.
I mean, they even made a joke about how... in the intro credits, how we had that big CGI guy as one of the actors.
I hated that.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious.
I thought that
you hated that trailer scene too?
I thought that. I did not like that.
I feel like I really thought that was so charming and funny. I thought it
set the tone of like exactly.
Right. I thought it was cheesy.
They were trying way too hard to be unconventional.
Yeah.
Like they were not comfortable.
The intro credits?
They tried to be
I thought it was hilarious.
They tried to be so
shit,
gritty punk rock about how films are made in that point.
That's what exactly. Okay, I couldn't picture what I was trying to say. But
they were trying to be so unconventional with that it made me feel really like.
I didn't like it. Didn't ruin the movie. Like I didn't get off like here we go.
No,
I was like,
but
right, that was
at the same time, I was like, you didn't really need to.
I knew I was
hilarious.
I knew I was gonna walk in and get cheesy jokes because that's. I mean, like I said, to a point, that's what Deadpool really used to be.
Too much cheap outs.
Yeah,
I think there's way too many cheap shots there.
You gotta though.
You don't.
You do.
I don't think you do.
I mean, you gotta have some of them because Deadpool is immature.
But there are so many. It's not Jim Carrey immature. It's not like you can't be. Jim Carrey perfected that. Like one of the. If you had Jim Carrey as Deadpool, let's think about that way. Like that would.
We're blessed. We got Ryan Reynolds.
I'm gonna give Ryan Reynolds 100% of the credit because of his body language, which they just did not showcase enough.
I agree with that.
Which was just incredible. Like when he was waltzing up to that girl, trying to talk to her on the overpass. That was incredible too.
That was awesome.
But they didn't rely enough on body language. They didn't, and this is nitpicky shit. Right. I still thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
100 times over. I'd easily go back tomorrow to watch this.
Oh yeah,
but,
me too.
At the same time, another thing, and this is another nitpicky thing, though the backstory, the disposition, I didn't like at all. I didn't like seeing, or at least in the very beginning, where he's got two swords up on the guy, and then they cut to here's where I meet poor man's Marina Baccarin, or whatever her name is. It's just a regular Wade. And it's way too slow for me. Like, I got blue balls. I was so excited for Deadpool. And it was so in your face. It was awesome. There was no lull there to take me back in. It was like jumping off a cliff.
You still gotta say, it's still an origin story.
It's still an origin, exactly.
So you still have to have those moments. And I thought the best way to do it while be different is to, every time you're really getting excited, kick it into something, and then every time it starts to get a little slow, kick it into something.
But they didn't do that.
That's what they did.
Not in the beginning. Not when he had two swords up this guy's rectal cavity. not literally, but it could have been It just could have been. They could have framed that so much. You could have cut at least half of that disposition.
Some of it.
Yeah, you could have cut a lot more out of that than
Sure.
what you did. Like, we're the perfect match for each other, yin yang bullshit. Like you can just say like, hey,
Although
she's pretty awesome.
Their sexcapade scene was kind of funny.
I love that. I absolutely, and they can show
funny.
that easily. But there was no need for cancer. I don't think. Well, I shouldn't say that. I should say that they made Deadpool way too human. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And you can relate, especially in the Deadpool that I've read, and I've read a few series of him. He is supposed to be this, holy shit, there's nothing in this guy that I can relate to at all, and that's what's so hysterical.
I agree.
Right.
And the thing is, pulling out of that such human, like, I'm in love with this girl because she's me. Like, just this, you complete me, I'm gonna do everything because of her, and all this kind of shit. It almost brought down to a level of mediocrity that I didn't really like.
But do you think if they did it to the point where you could not relate to the guy at all, that no one could relate to the movie because it would just be way too far out there?
I
so
think
they
the
had
argument...
to bring it down a little to make it more relatable.
I think it was almost shoehorned. Almost like they forced that love interest in. Like, you could have easily had an amazing origin story without having... And I'm not saying that she didn't do a great job, because she was hysterical in that movie.
She was funny.
Absolutely. Yeah. Poor man's Marina Baccarin is a fantastic actor.
And the cab driver was hilarious.
Yeah, Dupinder was
he was
incredible.
awesome.
A lot of credit there. But, like, being able to see that Wade that was before Deadpool kind of made me worry for what the real Deadpool was. Like, it almost was a disconnect. Like, they couldn't... I wish when he transitioned into Mutant Wade, or pre-Deadpool Mutant, you could have told immediately that he was a different human. Like, he was a different person altogether. And I was almost excited for that wrap-up to where, let's say, Wade finally sees... I don't know her name. I'm going to have to figure that out soon, but he finally sees love interest.
Vanessa.
Yeah.
Vanessa. He finally sees Vanessa, and Vanessa realizes, holy shit, this ain't right.
Well, here, that's what I was going to kind of, I was waiting to finish, but I was trying to touch on is, like, I mean, I already know that Ryan Reynolds has talked about it, but, I mean, he's talked about he wants Deadpool to have a boyfriend in the next movie.
That's fucking great.
So, like, I mean, I can see it being a progression thing where, like, all right, this is what he is, like this is how he was when he first started, and it's gotten to him so much that he really is just starting to lose his shit. And that's the way I took that part, because I agree with you. Everything you said is spot on. I agree with you completely that I felt like they made him way too human for me to enjoy. But, like I said, I can see, when I heard their quote, where, like, Ryan Reynolds was like, I'm super open to having a boyfriend in the next movie. I'm cool with that, too. Like, I don't give a fuck, obviously,
also,
but...
amazing credit to the scene with the stalker kid. Fucking
that was hilarious.
Hysterical.
With the pizza.
Like, when he referenced the hard spot, that was dumb. But then as soon as he kissed him on the cheek, it made me burst right out and laugh.
Yeah,
it was. I wish there was so much more.
There were very little things in this movie that were funny.
Funnier than most
of the
intentional comedy. And I wish there was so much more of the little stuff than there was of the, hey, you're supposed to laugh at this.
I agree.
And you could tell when you were supposed to laugh at it, because the whole audience was, outright in laughter. And it's weird for me, because there were points where everyone was laughing and I had no idea why. Like, you could hear that guy behind us when he was in that hallucination scene looking at Vanessa. I had no idea why that was funny at all.
That was probably the dumbest scene in the movie.
I saw no draw whatsoever to that.
Which scene?
Where he was on, they're on the battleship.
Knife in his head.
They're on the battleship and he just got stabbed in the brain.
And little cartoon characters.
The guy was loving it. I have no idea.
The guy behind us, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was hysterical.
I knew the guy behind us was like probably the biggest tool on the planet, because he laughed at the fart joke in the movie. If you laugh at a fart joke,
you laughed at the fart joke though.
No, I didn't. When he farted, he was like
the drive-by.
No, that was stupid. I hated that part.
I swear, I heard it.
I thought I heard him laugh too.
I swear to God.
I probably, Scout's honor, I wouldn't bring it up if I didn't. I hated that scene.
Hey man, fuck, farts are funny.
Farts are funny.
I thought that scene was funny besides that part.
Right. Like, they didn't have to cap it. We're mature. We don't have to have fart jokes. Like, it's...
Come on, we're Deadpool fans. We're better than that. No. If you frame a good fart joke, frame a good fucking fart joke. Do whatever you want. But, like, It wasn't that. It wasn't that at all. And then it was another cheap shot. It was another one of those, hey, there it is. Let's laugh at that, too.
Let's laugh at this bad transition.
Or when he was jerking off with the horse.
That was very small. They didn't really emphasize.
But it was another one of those, like, bleh, here's funny shit. Bleh. laugh at this while we're trying to transition into a more serious scene.
I don't really think that affected the movie at all.
No, this was just another one of those, like, things that I could pile onto.
Sure.
Where it led up to me kind of losing my taste for this film. To wrap it all up, I hands down enjoyed this film completely. And I would easily recommend it. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot more fun than most movies I've seen. It's definitely a lot better than Guardians of the Galaxy. It's definitely not better than Winter Soldier. But it is.
Thank you.
It is easily one of the. I haven't laughed that hard in a movie in a good long time.
Yeah.
It was definitely a lot. Honestly, to put it in words, fun. Just fucking fun.
It was a good time.
It was just pure fun in the most unadulterated, like, shut your brain off, have the most fun watching a movie. This is what Deadpool is. Now we're on to the most negative. Here's the festering.
I'm gonna come off as the biggest son of a bitch in this podcast, I'm assuming. All right,
real quick. Make sure we're still recording.
We are. I checked.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah, make sure we're still
Yep.
recording. So we got to get this.
Yeah, we got to hear this one.
All right. Let me start off by saying I've had a long hatred with Deadpool. Hated the character for the longest time.
And this guy spent money to see it in theater.
Yeah. No,
Premiered
He
it.
didn't have a choice.
Right. No.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I always hated that. I thought he was the hot topic of Marvel characters. He's a character people thought they liked because they knew who he was and like, oh, he does fourth wall jokes and like he's very like raunchy. But nobody has ever picked up a Deadpool comic in their life, and that is the most annoying thing in the world when somebody just has like when you see around. Yeah, I mean, I know you have. Like I'm saying, but you can agree to it. You can't tell me that.
That's an
people,
awesome sentiment.
people pretend to be
That
Deadpool.
exactly.
Right.
There's a lot of
That's
that.
their gateway drug to be like, oh, I like comic books. Like, who's your favorite character? Deadpool. Who else do you like?
Yes.
Deadpool.
There's millions of them.
And it's I mean this is gonna be another one that's gonna be it's the Tim Burton of Marvel characters. Like it tries to be weird for the reason it's being weird. Like I said, I've read a good amount of Deadpool. I liked them.
But I think it got that reaction after the fact.
No,
it
yeah,
got that sort of reputation.
He got his own reputation. Like I said, I was so glad what happened is like I said, the Bryan Posehn run completely took that character and made me enjoy him.
Yep.
So I don't hate Deadpool as much as I used to.
Well, let's not give Bryan Posehn as much credit. Jerry Duggan is the proprietor of this.
No, yeah, I agree. So going into that, I wasn't as excited for this movie as these guys. Still was pretty excited because obviously new Marvel movie. I'll start with the little things. I'll give it credit for it being a first time director.
Yes.
Very impressive for a first time director. Wasn't a lot. Like I said, some of the transition scenes are weird. Like they used a cheap joke to get into the next scene. Fine, that's nothing really big deal. Ryan Reynolds, like I said, Chris said it. He's built for this role. Still doesn't necessarily mean it's a great fit. I'm still not sold on Ryan Reynolds.
You are way too hard on him.
No, I just don't think he's that good. I mean, like, you can look at his pantheon of movies and pick out 75% shit and 25% things that were decent.
And like those movies, there was a movie I just watched about a month ago where he plays like a psychopath murderer.
Oh, The Voices?
The Voices. And that
I heard that
was
was great.
Well, it was supposed to be one of his like breakout.
But like you weren't impressed.
Here's me
right?
not being me. It was like a 6
right.
out
It's
of 10.
right.
It did not end on a good note.
I'm not like trying to be like mean to him, but it's just,
Was the movie bad or was he bad?
It was a little bit of both.
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds, I wanted so hard to like that guy. They framed it. Spoilers for this movie if anybody wants to see it. Bad guy loses. Like you want so bad. Like the first murder's an accident, and you're like, oh god, this poor guy. Holy shit. And then he's just a murderer for the rest of the film.
Right.
I have absolutely no desire to feel bad for him. Absolutely nothing. You just want to see the scumbag end. Like. And then on top of that, Ryan Reynolds' acting for that was not even all that wonderful. So,
I mean, he was good in a couple of movies. The Nines, Mississippi Grind.
yes. But like all those, he's always typecast as this charismatic, hysterical kind of guy.
And he's gone through so many phases. Like there was the part where he's like, all right, he's going to be the raunchy comedy guy. That bombed. He fell flat on his face.
Right.
All right, he's going to be the rom-com guy.
Yep.
Flat on his face.
Nope.
He's going to try serious role. I mean, you can't tell me those rom-com movies are good. You can't.
Some of them were okay. What
Friends
was
with
the one?
Benefits.
We're speaking relatively here.
Right.
If he's not made the worst romantic comedies.
No,
ever.
and like I agree. It's just like I say.
But there's no such thing as a good
They've tried
romantic
so hard to
comedy.
turn him into
Definitely Maybe, right?
this. Right.
That
Yes.
was one of them?
Yep.
That was
Friends with
actually
Benefits.
a fine movie.
Friends with Benefits, or whatever that movie was.
That wasn't him. That was
That
Justin
wasn't him.
Timberlake.
No, what's the one? Oh no, what's the one where he was fat and then like he
Just Friends.
did whatever.
That
Same
was
fucking
funny.
movies. No, they weren't.
I thought that was funny.
But here's the thing: is like my whole point being not like saying like everything he's done is shit, but they've tried so hard to morph him into one kind of movie character that they've all bombed, and they kind of don't let him be himself. And I think this is the first time I saw him where I'm like, okay, this is him kind of being himself, which was cool. Like I said, I didn't hate him. Still not sold on him. I'm not like I said, not a crazy Ryan Reynolds guy. Movie I thought was good. A lot of action.
Wait. He just said the movie was good.
It's good. Like I said, I liked it
Okay,
to a point.
all right.
Point. So my whole kind of when I kind of wrap it up, it'll kind of make more sense, I guess. It's a popcorn movie. There's nothing more, nothing less. Like me and Chris talked about 100 times. This movie's not going to win any fucking awards. Simply,
none of the Marvel movies are.
Right. And it's not going to win any awards. It's not going to be on. I mean, it's not going to do much. I don't think it's going to do that well at the box office, to be honest with you. That's my take now, but I don't think it's going to do it well. It's
the only reason it won't do
my
well at the
argument
box
is
office
the R
is
rating.
it's not for everybody.
My argument is it already has. I think I completely disagree with both of you. I think this is probably going to be number 2, number 1 this weekend, especially.
Oh, I mean, if you look what's going up
probably will
against,
be.
it's got
Yes.
nothing.
And you know what?
It's going up 50 Shades of Black.
To be fair,
That's right.
with the budget that it had, it actually probably, essentially, in the director's eyes and Ryan Reynolds' eyes, will probably do very
And marketing-wise,
because it'll probably make.
I think the legs of this
3-4
one
times
in
as much as
theater
budget.
is going to have a much more steady flow of viewers throughout however long this is going to be on air than most would be like millions see it and then go, oh, this is horse shit. Don't watch this. So I think in the long run, this Deadpool movie is going
Generally,
to...
it's getting positive reviews.
Yeah, and it might even... I would not be surprised if I heard Deadpool broke a record for a Marvel film. Just because of the thing about...
I think simply the R rating alone is going to
To
stop
be fair,
that.
I watch movies. We don't need to prove to ourselves how many movies we've seen.
Oh, yeah, no.
This is literally the first movie I've ever seen a premiere of on a Thursday night.
Oh, I've seen
Deadpool is, and I think there are at least thousands, if not a million, more people like me that were going to do this.
No,
I would not be surprised if this did break a record, and that's a bold. It's still bold.
I would be honestly more than surprised. I'd be shocked
Yeah?
if it broke.
I
any
would
record.
too.
Like I said,
would too.
I mean, you're losing a good 51% of your audience from the R rating alone in theaters. I'm saying, I'm sure when it comes out to Blu-ray and shit like that really really is going to
Are
catch
you,
another
though?
following. Yeah, you
You're
absolutely
losing
are.
a lot, especially with something like Deadpool. But
You
just from the
absolutely are.
trailers, it
Like,
shows
I would bring
how...
like, if I saw Ant-Man, I would bring my kids to see Ant-Man. That's a movie you can see. It has family stuff to it. It's got action. I mean, it's got some
I
stuff they're not
definitely
going to
wouldn't
get.
bring my kids to Deadpool.
No, definitely. As I'm saying, so like you're
No,
losing,
no.
and like kids who can't get into the movie, for example. Like, I mean, if I was in middle school or like say it's my freshman sophomore year, when can you go see R-rated movie? 16?
17.
17.
17? If I was a freshman and sophomore in high school, I fucking want to see Deadpool because that's right up there.
Oh, people
That's
like
humor.
they're-
That's humor.
You would see
city
those
for a
kids
16.
that are literally, oh, I went and saw Deadpool with my dad. He's so cool, like that kind of
right. And
bullshit.
so that's why I think like big box office. I'm not saying it's going to take away, but box
I think
office,
DVD
I'd
wise,
be
it's going to
shocked.
sell a motherfucker.
Absolutely, and like I said, downloads, streaming, whatever it does.
Well, continue
But-
on your opinion of the movie.
I mean, I thought the jokes were fucking pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. I like the action aspect of it more than I like the humor side of it.
Really?
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of the jokes were in the trailers. I mean, spoilers, it is, and they're not funny. Those are probably some of the worst jokes in the movie. There's when the times where I think when they're really not trying to be as funny, like I said, those cheap shots was when they were the funniest. Like that
Yes,
McAvoy,
absolutely.
that joke was
McAvoy Stewart?
unbelievable joke.
Fantastic.
The X-Men, like him, like I said, the big thing is like people know about Deadpool is obviously the fourth wall thing. They did that really peacefully and really nicely. They didn't oversaturate it. They did it a couple times and it wasn't anything I hated.
It seems like... I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, it's fine. It's just like I said.
The vibe I got from it was they had some amazing jokes, but they didn't have enough to run with the film. And those parts where it was quick cuts or because it was these scripted scenes where this has to be a joke wasn't there because they ran out of material almost. And I didn't even touch action scenes.
I mean, the action was. It wasn't like a crazy. There wasn't like one scene where I'm like, oh, but it was like a good, consistent amount of like humor to action. But like I said, the humor for me personally, a lot of people are gonna find this movie funny. Like, the theater was laughing their asses off.
Yeah,
and that's how I'm assuming most theaters are gonna be. But just me personally, like I said, I might come off as like the fucking.
I almost
like
completely forgot that we watched an action movie on top of that.
Yeah.
Like, to be fair, like this action in this film was not remarkable. To be honest.
No, like I said, but it was a good, consistent amount of
Exactly, it was fair.
Yeah,
I
didn't think there was like a.
You also got to look at it goes along with the budget.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. No,
It was
I'm not
very
putting.
low.
I'm not putting this down at all.
And it was like, it's another thing. I thought the action was good. It was like you chop a guy's head off and kick it at another guy.
Without me
Like,
saying
it's-
exactly, but like without me even mentioning action,
Yeah.
This movie still has its legs. Like I
Oh,
still
absolutely.
absolutely enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
So it,
See, if you take away the action from me, I think it just becomes like a Dumb and Dumber 2. That's how bad I thought some of the humor was, I'll be honest.
yeah, oh yeah,
I thought it was
absolutely.
so-
Some of
Absolutely.
them, some of the
Fucking
jokes
saturated.
missed completely.
Yeah, like, and there were some jokes that like I missed completely, not because they weren't funny, but because I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. Like there was like 3 or 4 jokes where I'm like, all right, he just referenced a person I've never fucking heard of. So it's, I mean, again, I'm not a Deadpool guy to begin with. I'm still not a Deadpool guy. I liked the movie. I enjoyed seeing it. I'm not gonna be running back to the theater to go see it anytime soon, but definitely something you can sit down and enjoy. For the most part, there is a post-credit scene. I'm not going to talk about it because that's a dick move. But so stick to the end. There's a post-credit scene. For the most part, I enjoyed it.
To be fair, that post-credit scene definitely, is kind of telling on exact audience they're looking for.
The first, like I said, the watch the credits if you're not paying attention. I'm assuming it's hard to miss, but the very first, watch the beginning credits. Like they try to be funny. Kind of sets the tone for the whole movie, and the ending of it caps. I mean, like the ending of it.
I wouldn't argue for those beginning credits setting the tone. Don't let that cloud your
Don't
view
let
of
it
the
like
rest of the
cloud it, but
movie.
like it does set a tone. You can't say
It definitely speaks.
yeah, like
but-
where it's going, but like it does step away from
But
that
don't
sometimes.
lose faith
Right,
if,
no.
if that beginning
Like I said,
scene is not the funniest thing in the movie.
The best part to do is to put your 2 cents down and go see it yourself because there really is.
It's totally worth the watch.
It's
absolutely
above all else,
There's
this is totally
few
worth the
movies
watch.
where I spend $10 or whatever it may be now, where I'm like, fuck, I wish I didn't do that. I'm fine I did that this time because, like I said, it entertained me for the hour and a half, whatever, how long it was. I did fall in love during this movie. The girl who plays Negasonic, I mean, she was unbelievable. She was smoking hot.
She was pathetic.
She was probably, she's probably like number 3 on my list now.
Honestly, Colossal.
Colossal's awesome. Like I said, there was
He's a
cool
dime piece.
Again, I told Chris this too on like the way here. The coolest parts for me were the X-Men references because it's like
Yes.
I think they are going to start to try to build him in. I don't know how. Like I said, I mean,
I absolutely
I don't want to.
love.
I don't want to say the thing that happened in the post credits, but it's building up to kind of more.
To
of
be
this,
fair,
so.
Colossal was a much more charming character than Deadpool was in my bold statement here
But he's
of the
supposed
movie.
to be.
I want to say
Exactly,
yeah.
but like he had so much more charm for
Right.
me. Like I wanted to see a whole lot more Colossal than I did. Like
Well, you'll see more Colossus, hopefully.
Colossus.
Colossus,
Sorry,
Yeah,
I meant-
they'll make Colossus like that in the actual X-Men movies and not use that old...
I don't have a lot of faith in that.
No, me either.
If judging by the look of Apocalypse, which we didn't even talk about the Apocalypse trailer.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about that next
Yeah.
time.
We'll do it. Yeah, that's not. It's not
But
it's not like it's new, so it's not.
judging by the way they've casted Oscar Isaac, I have no faith in Colossus looking good.
No, me neither. I'll agree with
Marvel
that.
movie.
But again, I fell in love. Negasonic. It was her first movie. That was her first actual movie. She's never done anything before that. I thought she was pretty good. Colossal was good.
She was definitely comfortable in the role she was given.
Yeah, no. And like I said, I mean, we saw the cool thing is like I think me and Chris talked about on the way here again. It was the spoiler. She wears an X-Men suit, and it was
I like that.
very similar to the one you saw in First Class. So if you saw First Class,
Yep.
it's that kind of like said Chris said he was like it's the trainee costume where
Yep.
she's not there yet. She's very young. She's a teenager. Very cool. So there's little things like that I enjoyed more than like him farting or him putting on like
It was always the little thing.
the dick jokes. The dick jokes were so overdone that I
Yes.
wanted to puke.
Yep.
It was just dumb. Dumb humor doesn't do it for me, and I felt like some of this was dumb humor.
I will play the advocate of dumb humor does it when it's done well.
Right.
Dumb and
No,
Dumber,
and I can
Dumb
get-
and Dumber,
Right,
Tommy
and-
Boy, like
But
just
I feel like they can't make them like that anymore because now everything feels like a rip off of that, and they try to dumb it down way too much because we are dumb
Right.
people as a society now. So
they
it's-
don't they don't give the audience enough credit.
They
And
literally
that's-
could have made that movie an hour and a half of dick and fart jokes, and people were like, "Oh my god, that was
Oh
the
my
funniest
god!
I've
It
ever
would,
seen." Yeah.
I mean, how do you think fucking
It's
Grown Ups
it-
has its legs?
It's
It's
Step
Which
it's
it-
Step Brothers syndrome.
it's very sick, like very cynical, but
Wait,
like
what? Hang on.
I hate Step Brothers too. High fucking other hand.
I
I've
just
seen
suck
what
my
you've been
balls.
doing with
No,
that other
we're
hand.
gonna- we're
Alright,
gonna
fine,
high five.
that's
I
fine.
was
I'm gonna
playing
touch my
my
balls too. But like, anyways, like I feel especially with Deadpool, not especially with Deadpool, but in a lot of ways, Deadpool, the writers for this film did not give people like us enough credit to be able to laugh at the real good jokes.
I agree.
They cut back way too far on the smart ones.
I agree.
And smart, not in a like intellectual way, but in a like
there were jokes for everyone in this movie.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't in an R-rated film especially know your audience.
Yeah.
Know the age gap.
Right.
Know exactly who knows Deadpool.
I think great
And
point.
great
point.
Don't allow this to be appealing to even like the dumbasses of like
Yeah. It's like you push so hard for that R rating.
you push so hard for that hardcore Deadpool audience like
Right.
Chris. And
that R rating like is
but you still give the other
fart jokes.
assholes fart jokes.
Right.
Exactly. And I think if you make another sequel,
that's a great point.
you have a whole lot of opportunities to make something.
that's
Brian thinks the sequel is going to be better.
and that was my whole point.
I definitely have a lot of
I walked out of that movie being like, not like, wow, I can't wait to run back to the theater and see it again. I'm like, wow, I can't wait for the next Deadpool movie.
Absolutely.
I think they're going to figure
Absolutely.
out what they didn't do right, what they didn't do
There's only one way to find out, and that's to see it. You know,
right. And like I said, don't listen to us. I mean, we're just three idiots. Put your $10 on, go see it yourself.
Three
Form
large
your
men.
own opinion. Yeah, but I literally walked out of the movie saying I can't wait for the sequel. Not because I'm a Deadpool fan now, but just because, like, all right, like I said, that movie entertained the shit out of me for the hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, whatever it was we saw it. It's just not to the point where I'm like, fuck, I love that movie. It's to the point where I'm like, fuck, I'm curious to see where they go with this.
Absolutely.
So
I
mean,
think same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy. Same thing with the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Same thing with sequels in general.
I don't go into Marvel movies mentally prepared for a phenomenal movie. I go in to be entertained.
yeah.
Oh yes.
And this is the only reason I'm saying I like it more than Guardians or Winter Soldier is that this entertained me in more ways than those two movies did. I love Guardians. I mean, it was funny.
I think Guardians had the chops to be everything. Yeah,
I agree.
The absolute
Once
range.
again, I think the sequel will be better.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Guardians 2 is going to be awesome.
Hell yeah. But like, I mean, you look at especially Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it's phenomenal
Which is
movie.
an amazing polished version of Captain America.
It's a very, very...
Where the first one...
It's a story with everything.
right, the first one with Red Skull coming into the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier's hands down 10
It's
times
better.
Same thing with
I
the
like
Thor
the original
sequel.
Captain America
Same thing
too.
with...
Wait, what?
I'm just kidding.
What do you say?
He said the Thor sequel was better than the original.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely
Wait.
not.
Okay.
But,
We'll get into that another time, I guess. But
Wait,
I agree. Yeah.
You like Thor 2 more than the first one?
Yeah.
yeah, but
That doesn't make
anyways.
sense.
I do.
Um,
I think Captain America 1's one of the worst movies they made too.
Yeah, I did not like that was disgusting.
I thought it was okay.
I think we gotta have a whole other podcast because we're starting to get out of time of our list of Marvel movies because I feel like we're gonna butt heads like fucking crazy on that.
We'll probably wait a little bit for that though, since we talked a lot of Marvel and DC today.
We do have tons to talk about in our next episode. For
and
sure.
we will obviously be doing an Oscar show as well.
We do.
Yep, we're in the planning stages of doing a live stream.
We're gonna try. We're gonna see how it works. Today was a lot of let's fucking improvise because Kyle is a piece of shit.
I'm a terrible piece of shit.
So-
I managed to forget everything we could possibly need, and I forgot my microphone. I forgot all cords for this.
He forgot his Dungeons and Dragons board.
I forgot my keys at home.
He has to sleep at Chris's. He's moving in.
Yep, I
Chris's
forgot to
mom's
my
adopting
cat.
him. Yeah.
My cat's probably not going to make it through the night.
Doesn't even have a cat.
I forgot to take my cousin to chemo. I did a lot of terrible things.
Okay.
I did a lot of terrible
We'll
things.
cut that in post. We'll cut that in post. But yeah.
But no, I mean,
If you made it this far,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
fucking listening,
Thanks
honestly.
for listening. Like I said,
way to be the pioneer.
We'll try and make later shows shorter.
Yeah, the
Right.
steaming pilot.
This was
shit.
just the big one.
We'll find out. I mean,
like I said, this is not like us. We're going to constantly be ranting about superheroes. This just happened to be so fucking the theme this week because a lot of superhero news and stuff this week with Deadpool coming out. A lot of new trailers for Super Bowl. Like I said, Oscars we're going to try to do. We got, 50 Shades of Black's coming out. We already saw that, so we got to go see that again.
We didn't see that at all.
we'll talk about Joss
we
Whedon
won't see
again.
that.
You just don't know that.
But
We're gonna go back to Joss Whedon.
And the thing is, like,
and Mad Max.
right, is that we have the things we talked about that we've kind of touched on this, like the Nolan trilogies and all that shit. We can go back and have full conversations about that, and so a lot to work with here. So, like I said, don't think this is just a superhero podcast. That's the furthest thing it's from. So, Kyle, any last words? All right, Chris, any last words?
We will have a
yes.
website.
Yes, good call.
With actual written reviews.
Yes.
From all of us.
By the time you're gonna be listening to this, we'll probably have more content than just this episode.
Yeah.
We're going to try to keep it updated. It's kind of like a blog. What's going to be on our website. We're going to do movie reviews. If new trailers drop, we'll drop our little thoughts on there. we're going to try to build as much as we can towards every time we record so we have more to talk about, kind of a wider range.
Literally any input whatsoever, please
Right. Yeah,
feel free to let us know.
Whatever you liked about this podcast, what you didn't like. I'm assuming that means that we won't have Kyle on next week.
Chances are this is going to be Table for Two.
Table for Two.
Theater for Two.
Wow, yeah. I fucked up the name.
Yeah, see, I'm just a piece of shit.
Yeah, but we'll have a Twitter coming, a Facebook, and the website. So if you can, I know it's not sexy, share it with at least 3 people, anybody you know.
Share it with no one. Fuck them. You deserve to listen to this yourself.
That's
Don't tell
true.
anybody about
Be
it.
selfish.
Don't tell anybody about it.
We know you're embarrassed to share it anyway.
And by the way,
Right.
we're going to have 3 microphones. It's going to sound way better.
Yeah, next time I won't have to pull my ass out and like lean halfway across the table. So that'll be fun.
I'm going to collect myself I'm going to be sober for the next podcast. Don't worry. I'm going to pull it all together. I'll eventually be able to get good sound out of this. Don't worry.
And for the record, we had 9 snorts by Brian.
That was it?
9 snorts.
Thank you. So
Yep.
I was wrong,
Hammer the under.
I'll be taking that $30 back.
Hammer the under next time.
but you guys have a great night. Thanks for watching.
Thank you guys
We'll
for
see you
listening.
next time.
Thanks for
4
watching.
in the morning.
Nothing.
I got a Woody.
It's 4 in the morning.